Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Yo, no maniacs, go put your kids up. This ain't your kids type of show, man. So welcome into the show. We were just having a little light conversation in the back about the schedule, Bears ticket prices, and all that kind of stuff. Triple R kind of hit me to some things going on as far as the prices go that's kind of alarming. But, you know, as a Bears fan, man, this is the time to go get you a ticket and go get to the game and create one of them memories, man. I think this is the year to go and do that for sure, man. But welcome into the show once again. Sorry we run a little bit late, but hey, man, been having a pretty good last couple of days. My girlfriend's been off, and we just haven't been having some good personal time. It's getting warm, man. It's time to turn on the air a little bit. A little weather in the Chicago area, but it's all good by my way. Let me go ahead and pass the rock on over to Canada and see what's going on up there.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, y'all. I don't even know what the temperature is. What's the temperature? Computers?
83 degrees feels like.
I'm not even gonna look. It's a beautiful day. Sun is shining, barbecue is barbecuing. Had some surf and turf today. We did it the right way, a little bit of salad, some white rice, and boy, it was as that chef would say, beautiful. I enjoyed it. Been a couple of days off here in Canada. We got a long weekend. It's what we call the May 2-4. Sometimes it falls on the 24th of the month. This is what the Canadian folks call Victoria Day weekend. Victoria is a queen somewhere. Who cares? But the 2-4,
Vicky,
what Canadians call a case of beer. We call it a 2-4 because there's 24 beers in a case in Canada. 2-4, that's really what it's about. Get yourself a 2-4, drink your beer, enjoy the weekend. So that was kind of my plan for the weekend. So far, so good. A little bit of fight action. Ronda Rousey made things real quick. And,
17 seconds.
Huh?
17 seconds, kid.
17 seconds, man. Did I ever put my money on the wrong girl in that fight?
Well, I heard Miss Nova talking about that's a long time in her world. I don't know what that means. But okay, whatever. Go ahead.
Oh, damn. She ain't even in the chat. I had to jump in chat just in case.
Real quick, man, Clemson said he got tickets to the Seahawks game, and that's in Seattle, I imagine. I wonder how much that shit hit you for. This is Super Bowl champs.
Damn.
I bet you that's a pretty penny, boy.
Oh, but I bet you it's out in Seattle, though, right?
Yeah,
he's out that way, I think.
Yeah. So I don't mean shit.
I'm just checking. I'm
gonna get a local discount.
You know what I mean? I was just checking, thinking maybe he's got a deal out there, but no, he's paying regular Seahawks.
He just doesn't have to travel far. He said,
damn,
400.
$4 a piece, baby boy.
Ooh.
See, look at Clemson, low-key baller. I see you.
You doing good, boy. You can come up off of $400 for a couple of tickets right now, boy. You doing all right. I'm gonna have to hit you up, man. Yeah.
You know.
Hey, Dobbsy, what's up? What it do, yo, Ken Vaughn? Man,
big up.
Yeah, I guess that is the topic of conversation today. Is what are tickets gonna cost you?
Well, before we get into there, man, let's let's get a little bit more personal, man. Again, man, my week's been very sweaty. I've been doing a lot of sweating. I'm outside in the spring and summer, as y'all already know. A lot still haven't cut out the garden. It's usually supposed to be done by the time we do usually have that thing planted by Mother's Day. And I just been busy doing other stuff, and I just haven't had time to cut it out and do all the stuff that I need to do. But all the other stuff I've been involved in, keeping me busy, man. So that's pretty much it, man. Having a good weekend, man. Enjoying some girlfriend and some Jameson all weekend.
That's the funny thing about the Mother Nature, though. She ain't waiting on your ass.
She sure ain't.
It's like Mother's Day. Oh, that was last weekend. You tripping?
You know what?
I'm gonna keep going on with this springtime thing, though. So you do you, baby boy.
Sometimes, depending on some of these planting experts, they'll tell you different things from year to year. Tell you, the way the winter might have played out, how long it was prolonged. Maybe you might want to, back your planting plans a month or so, a little further on down the road. Sometimes I'm not sure exactly.
But you old school. I know you get people in your family that swear by the Farmer's Almanac.
No, I don't know nobody that does.
I know. Well, they are forecasting a hotter than normal summer, and the was it Nino or Nina? One of them is going to be kind of extreme. Where's Red Baron? You should know about the El Ninos and Ninas. Being in SoCal.
All I know, Trip, is it's mandatory, man. Because the more stuff I keep reading and listening to, the more I keep track of what's going on in the Middle East. It's by the time they're saying that the oil supplies that were already en route before this whole shebang started. Those things take 3 months to get there, 3 months to get back. So the stuff that was already en route before the strait closed still hasn't arrived yet. And after that gets here, that's going to go fast because a lot of military personnel are being used. They're going to use all that for the jets, the planes, the boats that they have to use for that. And then they're going to be into the energy reserves. And after that's tapped, we screwed. And so what I can tell you is we had somebody deliver the groceries this week. And the guy delivering the groceries came back with a message. He was just like, listen, something's crazy going on. He's like, really, there's nobody in the store. And he said, they running me crazy because nobody wants to drive. Nobody wants to drive to the grocery store. Everybody's hoarding their gas. And so he's like, I'm going crazy. He's like, I've never seen anything like this. Nobody's in the store. And the shelves are mostly a lot empty. And then everybody's calling me and calling these drivers to come deliver their food. People are hoarding their gas. So that's what I was talking about, kids, when I told you by September, it might not be worth it for you to come here. So I'm telling you, it's getting to, if this doesn't come to a conclusion by the time we get to Memorial Day, we're in trouble, bro. Might not be able to reverse this shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's no reversing this. If you're talking the thing you're talking about, there's no putting the toothpaste back in that tube. That's unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles. It crumbles into a lot more expense for you, me, and the guy underneath us. It's just about that simple, right? We got no control over this situation. The only control you have as a citizen in this scenario is sell your car. It's the only control you have. If you have no car, you don't really have to worry about putting gas in it. The fact of the matter is, you then have to worry about everybody else's vehicle that you have to potentially put gas into. So it is what it is. There's nothing you can do.
I'm gonna have to holler at Smitty and see what it's looking like in that trucking world, man. I want to keep contact with him and see if anything's starting to change. That's an indicator too.
No, like I said, because of where Smitty is in the supply chain, he's going to see it at the pump just like we would see it at the pump. But it's just
he's gonna have a little advance.
You know what I mean? It's he's a part of the supply chain. So if they want to sell whatever it is, he said it was golf carts that he was
golf carts.
So if you want to buy a golf cart, you gonna pay for the gas to get the golf cart from part A to part,
But also
me to
him
be-
being part of the supply chain, out there and with 18 wheelers, keep it to double nickels, watch out for Smokey. Even though we may not be consuming golf carts, he is in that service line, whereas we are end users. So, all the people he's rubbing elbows with at truck stops, that are carrying stuff that we use are paying what he's paying for gas and, the additions. And I tell everybody now that, many people are using the difference in prices and saying, man, I just filled up for $65. And, you're in shock. But for people that don't have a point of reference, that don't know how much fill up used to be, that don't mean shit. So say, hey, man, same time, this time last year or 2 months ago or whatever, I was paying $35 to fill up. Today, $65. Before I was paying $4 for a pound of ground beef. Today, $8. Give that point of reference of the price every time so people can be as outraged as you are. And you got to avoid that step of, well, how much was it before? Yeah. You know what I mean? So, because sadly, that's a lot of conversations that people are having nowadays. And it's kind of universal, no matter the state, no matter the political party, no matter what team you root for, we all paying more for shit. And none of us like it.
You know who ain't paying for gas?
Who that?
And good on you, Crimson, man. I'm proud of you, man. He says, funny enough, my in-laws aren't kidding about my EV anymore. Smart.
You see, and Crimson's enough of a man that he was man enough and loved his woman enough that he wouldn't tell his in-laws to shut the fuck up about my EV.
Oh, damn.
But you know what I'm saying? He was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. But now he's like, yeah, haha, you motherfuckers. You know what I'm doing to your daughter tonight? Yeah. But I think, allegedly that's what he's doing. I'm just saying.
Hey, man, listen, I know I've been talking to my girlfriend about that for at least 5-7 years now.
About what Crimson is doing to his girlfriend?
Why we got it?
No, that's his wife. He can do all this. His wife.
Why we even talking about his wife, man? Come
okay,
on,
it's all legal. All right, word up.
Mm-hmm.
Word up.
Talking about EV is where you want to be. That's what the future is, man.
Well, it's something. I don't know. I don't even know what to say, man. It's something. People would like to think it's the future, except we've done. I'm just saying we've done nothing to
get
establish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coal cares. That's where it's at. Coal and fracking and coal mining daughters and all that stuff.
Well, it ain't there either. But this is the point. Like the point is like where we are in human history is here, right? We're at the point where the oil barons are going, no, don't buy an EV. We will prevent any possible support from an infrastructural perspective. Right. We'll shut all that down. We're shutting it down. But there is no oil. So, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Yeah, but have you peeped some of the EVs that China's putting out though? Some of the tech they got rolling.
Have you been? So, yes, I have been, and they're coming to Canada, by the way.
Oh,
Trump is. Oh, the orange idiot is upset. All right, he's not happy about this. So, as much as I don't like my prime minister, he's gone and struck a deal with China. Basically, Canada's in a very precarious, interesting position. So first thing to say is we don't make our own. There's no Canadian car company, which is stupid. There should be. There's no reason. But because we've through the North American Free Trade Agreement, we've kind of decided to just help the U.S. make their stuff better. So a lot of the parts right across from Detroit is Windsor, Ontario. A lot of the parts that you get in your vehicles, whether it's Ford, Toyota, etc., are actually made in Canada and not only manufactured but installed in the vehicle. The vehicle is then sent back to the Ford plant in, Detroit-ish and gets completed and it's sent en route. So long story short, with all them tariffs in place, nobody really wanted to start sending car parts back and forth because it costs that much more, which has also affected the cost of the car, not just to Americans, but to Canadians as well. So my prime minister eventually goes to China and he's like, hey, I hear y'all got some really cool cars. And like, we do though. So they showed him some of these whips. And the whips, I don't know if y'all are checking them out though.
They're like, not built for heftier people because of where they're built, obviously.
Oh, you're wrong.
No?
You wrong.
Shut your mouth.
You got to see some of these whips, dog.
Like, no, I actually got to put my ass in them. That's what
I've been in a very small one, Trips. You dead ass wrong about that one.
So there's some that are tight, like, and I know what you're talking about, but I seen a big, like, I seen a 6'4" plus big brother it's showing off this car. And when he got into the car, I was like, damn, this is roomy. And he's like, first off, this seat reclines. And when he reclined it reclined to like not only to like a state of lying down, but it also then kicked up with the footrest.
Oh, shut your mouth.
I'm not joking. It kicked up with the footrest, and he's like, now watch this. Boom. And he hit and this is for 37 grand Canadian. Hit a button and it start massaging, and I was like, oh no, you didn't. So he got a full
37 grand. You get some luxury shit.
And this was like, and I mean, top of the line luxury. And he got out the passenger, like the shotgun seat, went into the back seat, and he was like, oh snap, the back seats reclined like crazy too. And I'm like, the back seats reclined to where do they go? And my boy's on like he's like on a 35-degree angle, lean back like Fat Joe, feet up,
lean back.
Damn, massager kicking in. I was like, are you kidding me, bro? That's like, man, there's some
dog.
And they got those full moon sunroof things.
So the car I'm talking about had two. So the car I'm talking about had a sunroof that opened up in the front half, but the back half had its own moon roof. It's great. I'm talking this whip is like.
Let me help you out, Cass, because you tell a long ass story again.
Brother, it's a dope. It might be a long story, but it's a dope car.
I can help you embellish a little bit. I've been in a few of them.
The Chinese ones?
Yeah, man.
How?
They have some of those models in Atlanta.
Damn, no man got live in the backwoods. What's that about, Cass?
Atlanta, I forget the name of it. They have civic centers and shit around Marietta and Kennesaw and shit like that, where other countries bring their products in there, and it's all in the showcase. I've been in a few of them. I'm telling you, anybody that thinks, if you're foolish enough and Neanderthalish enough to think that you need some kind of gas vehicle to make you some kind of macho mother, you stupid. These are some dope ass vehicles, man. It's just not enough infrastructure to support it yet. There is more out west than there is, like, say, where I'm at. It's some there in the Illinois area, but not as much. But we need to get up to speed.
And nor are we building anything.
Because once you're in one of those things, you ain't gonna want to get out of it.
So Crimson, yeah, BYD is one of the manufacturers. Another one was Xiaomi, who makes cell phones. Xiaomi. Yeah, man. They make cell phones. They're famous for making like aftermarket Android phones. They make some badass phones, but like I'd still rather get a Samsung. Samsung ain't making no whips though. Xiaomi is. I'm just saying. But these cars are. I'm talking screen everywhere. Like the cars are crazy, man. And at the price point they're talking about. Well, yeah, for in the U.S., 100% tariff, but like not to mention, they don't want those cars. They don't want those cars in the U.S.
Chevy, Ford, Dodge. They don't want the competition.
No, they don't want the competition. So that's why I'm saying, the guy in office is a little bit upset that Canada's doing this and kind of circumnavigating the American car, like the American auto market. He's a little bit mad. Canada definitely said
he's mad. Oh, boo!
It's a sad situation, but I'm see. I was just telling my son this the other day, and I was like, I don't know, but I might find myself into one of these things because
I mean, 37 grand. Are you gonna get like in a quote unquote American made car that's better made, for a better price?
No. Well, like here's the thing. The better price, no chance. Like there's other real questions here now, right? So facts of the matter, we're talking, under 40K, which is like the cost of a Kia. You know what I mean? Like we're talking dirty cheap, real talk. You're never gonna find an EV in the North American market made by North American car manufacturers anywhere near that price point. It's at least 45 on the low, and again, that's a Kia. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I'm just
that's the low of the low.
It's the low of the low. We're talking like Kia.
No offense, Kia.
No offense to Kia, but that's
you know what you are.
That's basically what you're looking at is about 45. This is $7,000 at least on the low, cheaper than that for some high-end stuff.
Huh? Scottish Bears is back in the building.
Oh, Scottish Bears, what it do, man?
Long time, man.
Look who's back.
Hey, motherfuckers. No, you're the motherfucker. Scottish Bear motherfucker.
So yeah, man. Another thing, man, I wanted to point this out because y'all started talking lightly about car parts. I follow this economic journal guy that I mean, he does this shit every month. He follows stock trends and business stuff. It's a business journal. And one of the things he got a hold of some inside scoop from AutoZone. Like the administrative side of AutoZone, like the big wigs in the AutoZone, they sending out private emails to managers and owners all across wherever they have AutoZones, and they're trying to figure out how they're going to be able to. They've got all kinds of oiled up car parts that they want to sell, but won't have oil to sell them, and special oil, special fluids that they have to put on some of these car parts, and they're trying to figure out a way to, They gotta figure some shit out, man. Are they gonna be in trouble? So think about it.
Nomad, what excuse me, pardon me. But what Nomad is let me see if I can referring to here is that because of the Strait of Hormuz and the Iran situation, what it is, there are products that aren't available anymore, and namely, why can't I pull this thing up? Is oil, and I know what he's talking about here, but I can't share that screen for some reason. But it basically says for anybody who may need an oil change or any kind of lubricants, team. When speaking about, hold on, let me get my spectacles. I'm about to fuck up. All right, there we go. When speaking about unusual or historic supply chain disruptions, it's common for those of us who have been in the business for a moment to reference situation from decades ago. But the truth is, if you've been with us for even a year, you've already worked through one major supplier loss and related rebranding. If you've been with us for a bit longer, you've worked through one of the most difficult reshuffling of inventories and changes in sales flow in our company history during COVID, which was just a few years ago. That's why I'm not worried about what we're facing today. Preparation and the dedication of every one of our team members to see us through just as you did before, but we ain't giving you no more money. So what new challenge are we facing? In the interest of total transparency, there is zero benefit in mincing words. Due to the unfolding situation in the Middle East, we're facing the largest supply shortage of lubricating fluids in modern history of America. Damn. Realistically, middle of the road estimates are for our average available supply in this product category to drop by 40%.
Hey, Trish, before you go any further, we talking about AutoZone?
Yeah.
So they probably put that out because of that leak.
But the leak was verified, but basically any kind of lubricant, not gas, but oils, your what do you call that thing? Lawnmowers, your snowmobiles take some kind of lubricant. That little bit oil that for your sharpening stone is a lubricant. So Home Depot housing supply stuff, a lot of lubricants in construction. So all of those, if they are available, are going to be more expensive if they are available.
You know how people cars riding around here smelling like chicken grease and shit.
They really trying to get this like, well, what's this biodiesel all about again? That I heard about 10 years ago and never looked into. I was like, yeah. It's like all petroleum products and all of the plastics that are made with those oils, which are the containers for a lot of things that other products are packaged in. So now these products have no packaging to get to you. I mean, so the future we are in for, the very near future, is something that you really need to be prepared for.
Hey, Bearski, hey, keep the comments coming, man, but please watch the language now. Please.
Cornelius, this was a problem even before the Orange Idiot took office. This is the fact. Like, the fact of the matter is, North American society is based on oil. Like Goldfinger would say, gold. Like it's everything. Like like I got a pair of Beats. Like the plastic that is making up the housing of this here headset. Everything is oil. So we're kind of screwed, like with or without. This guy just he just poured salt in the wound and exacerbated the situation. But regardless, we were driving 150 miles per hour towards a situation that was completely untenable. And now we're driving 250 miles per hour towards that exact same end.
It makes Wednesday night show a different kind of show, because now it's starting to get up close and a little personal now. A few months ago, it was just a lot of speculation about what
theoretical speculation. Yeah. Maybe what if down the road.
Starting to touch an MF now, boy.
And it's like, wait a minute. You used to pay $35 to fill up your tank. Now you pay $65. Does that mean you get more miles out of a fill up? No. You get the same shit, huh?
You might get less, because we don't know what they're doing on the back end, which is just me saying they might be doing funky shit with the gas to stretch it out.
Well, I heard that
they would never tell us.
That E80, you got E85 in Canada?
E85, I don't know.
That sounds like a no.
I don't think so.
I wouldn't even. Y'all ain't got it.
I don't think so.
But we have like premium.
Yeah, we got premium,
regular, but then there's 91, 95 stuff that has like some kind of chat. Help a brother out, because I know y'all.
It's probably
ethanol, motherfuckers in this chat, and I mean
it's probably got ethanol in it.
Yeah, it's got some kind of corn additive or ethanol. Detergent, or
that's it. Like the corn additive is ethanol for sure. So that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the E in the ethanol.
Yeah, you got it.
So corn 85, basically.
Mm.
So that's what they're making here, which kind of waters down the whole process.
There's all kind of products being affected. I mean, stuff that I'm not thinking about right off the top of my head. But there's so many different things. If I were to do an AI search right here live on the show and ask AI to tell me with no filter how many products that we use here in the United States alone that involve oil, and the list would be too long to read.
You couldn't. No point in starting the list. Yeah. It would never end.
Wait, but hold on. Mm-hmm. But you see the conundrum we're in right now, and Nomad just set it up perfectly, because now across the country, domestically here, kids, no communities want them, but we got these AI data centers that are going up everywhere. Sucking up all the resources water-wise, and then spitting out a lot of wastewater, sucking up all the electricity from the grid, and giving that.
Oh, Trips! I just saw a video.
Hold on. Hold that thought. All right, we got that all going. So you got that invading communities, right? Then it's like, well, what are these data centers for? Some say surveillance, of the population. All right, but that's a whole different subject. But what I'm talking about as far as AI is when Nomad said if he would jump on AI right now, and then you look at how many jobs AI is taking and replacing, but there's no industry hiring to replace these jobs. And just today, I saw something that within 18 months, AI is projected to take like a certain amount, like it was a ungodly amount of white collar jobs because it's learning how to do accounting, how to do lawyering, how to do those things. And so as the AI gets better, it's poisoning our environment. It's doing things autonomously with drones and weaponry and live firing and facial recognition. It's doing all of this dark governmental stuff. So that's bad for the environment. It's bad for our personal freedoms. It's bad for our personal health, as well as taking jobs. So everything about this whole AI is bad, and it's all a fucking bubble because that's the only thing propping up our economy right now. And it's all a Ponzi scheme with all the AI entities together, as well as that Middle Eastern money. But with all that boom boom going over in the Middle East, that's going to dry up a lot of that money. So it's coming to a head, kids. We gonna have to move up there and start doing the show from your house, kids.
Hey, bro, let me
Okay.
tell you
And
something.
stay.
You
I
guys
gotta
are
tell
welcome.
you, man. I gotta tell you something. I hear all kinds of stuff about AI data centers, but for the first time, I watched a video just today of a guy that lives kind of adjacent. And if I had to guess the distance between the place, probably about half a mile from the edge of this data center, big, huge data center, I think out west somewhere. And that low tone hum that's coming off of that place, I don't even know how it's livable. That apartment, they gotta go, man. There's nobody that's gonna be living in that apartment. That's messing somebody's money up, man. Who wants to live there? Like, I know people that live around trains, the L station, and all that kind of stuff, and places where planes fly over you regularly around Midway and shit like that. I know people, but that's a continuous that doesn't stop. I don't know how people can deal with that.
It's like trying to take a nap at the gig, outside the server room. You just can't do it.
So for me, I just worry about like just a general like level of intelligence in the world, like on the planet Earth. And clearly, I'm not this smart. But like, why would you be putting data centers in local areas where people are living?
That's where they could buy the land and do it.
I'm going to tell you where you could buy the land. Land probably be dirty cheap. There's resources there. It's cold. It's the North Pole or the South Pole. Ain't shit going on over there.
The mistake you're making is thinking these people have any kind of empathy whatsoever.
Unless
there's that. And remember,
whoa, just give me a second. It's not. I'm not really talking about it from an empathetic perspective. Like, I know that's where you live. I'm talking about it from a dollars and cents and common sense.
Because you're missing the point, kid. You're missing the point of why they're dispersed throughout communities of the United States. It's the same reason that the warehouses that ICE purchased are dispersed throughout the United States. It's not about the saving the dollars and cents by going to an area where they're not polluting. It's about proximity to where the people are. And
so that's a common misconception is really what I'm trying to say. So proximity is more of a requirement when you don't have what we've been watching be birthed over the course of the last 5 to 10 years. And that's Starlink. So when you have asynchronous internet connectivity from the ground to a satellite, you don't need proximity.
Yeah, but that's not shut down. It's not guaranteed.
That's fine.
Even at that, kids, you
can have a smaller data center in the localized area.
If you're trying to train those AI bots, if they're in the middle of bum F nowhere, it's still going to be a limit to how much that bot's going to learn. It is proximity to that.
No. There's no limit.
And you can make more money because you can blow up the costs. You can overestimate. You can overinflate. as opposed to, well, if we build it in the middle of BFE or BFA in this case, bumfuck Egypt or bumfuck Alaska, it costs $5 per square mile, real costs, and we can't elevate it that much more because it's up there. Whereas, in urban or just in United States domestic areas, it's like $10 per square mile, but we can charge $200. So they can always up the price because of the tax allocations. So the more it costs, the more they can inflate it. So that's another reason as to not go to a more economical, priced area.
It's like big ups to the chat right now. This is the football show, and we're having a great conversation. Some of the shit in the chat is bananas. Like Cornelius Squall saying, "Kids, then you're probably raising the sea level and goodbye coastal areas." That's not crazy talk to really think about. Mind you, there's ways to do it even in that respect, right? You just build a bit of a higher building and you pollute the sky as opposed to the ground, right? There's so many different ways to do this in an area that wouldn't bother the rest of us, would save them a bunch of cash, because who owns the land in Antarctica? You know what I mean? Like, nobody owns that shit.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? Just go drop it out there, and ain't nobody going.
That's the most. Just for the record, that's the most. More countries are a part of Antarctica than you can imagine. Like every country in the world has a stake in that part of the world.
Well, but here's the thing, though, kids. The orange comrade we got there now. If the United States has any ownership, it's for sale for private industry right now. Is, all of our wetlands, wildlands, national parks, forests. If you got enough paper, you can be like, yeah, I want these many acres. And then at the same time, we're also reducing the environmental protections. So if you are a major money corporation and it saves you a few dollars to throw your waste into that stream that's going to flow down river, as opposed to doing, sanitation removal, so be it. And the punishments for poisoning said stream are basically slap on the wrist, if that. And the profit continues. We ask ourselves, well, how can these corporations do this? It's empathy thing. They don't care, because guess what? They don't live there. They're gonna fly to where they get their property that's all pristine and clean and shit.
Got the price they wanted for the land. They don't give it no.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not like empathy is great. And like part of the reason why I'm saying this from where we sit is an empathetic position. But from a business perspective, I don't understand why they're putting it in the heart of Chicago to fuck with the people. Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. But that being that, there's another thing that I'm having a brain fart right now. But in that journal that I was telling you guys about is these trends, and some of the people that come on this show and write in this journal are some very respected people out here in all kinds of genres of whatever line of business and all kinds, not even business, science and all kinds of things. And there's a guy that gave, and he has his own show too. He does a 2-hour-long show, and I forget, he does it for a major network, but he does his own podcast as well. Now his podcast is huge. Now this guy, I take him as a serious guy. He doesn't F around, man. That's why I like watching him, because I know I'm getting a straight shooter. He did a cut up of his last show, and he gave a dire warning as breaking news. He turned that clip into a reel that's gone viral. Breaking news out there. He said the city of New Orleans, the people of New Orleans need to evacuate that place now. Like now. It is a foregone conclusion that's going to be the place, the first country, the first state in the major city in the United States is going to be submerged. And if you've ever been to New Orleans, you can see why. It doesn't take you long unless you're just down in the French Quarter partying the entire time. It's literally sitting underwater.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
barriers built up around it.
yeah.
So what
Yeah,
are
I
we
mean,
talking about? How did we get here?
I don't
I'm
know.
just telling you, I'm talking about climate change and different things like that.
Mm.
This is stuff this guy's talking about in his journal. I got to give you his name, man, so everybody can go check him
Well, I
out.
mean, it's just science, and well, if you believe in that stuff, kids, because a lot of people we don't anymore. But I mean, New Orleans is basically underwater.
It has
Most of
been
the state of
forever.
Florida, the Carolinas, a lot of beachfront property is soon to be under ocean property. So it's the insurance, the migration of people having to move back, and the more that Florida's recovered or by nature, the more nature there's going to be. A lot of gators just hanging out, and all those swamp critters and creatures and such. Just more of them spread out, reclaiming their territory. But yeah, shit's about to get bad, y'all. But guess what? We got a beautiful distraction called the Chicago Bears in the 2026 goddamn season.
Well, yeah. Let's get ready to go there, man. Because if we don't, this is gonna carry on and on and on. Because it's worth talking about, man.
And on and on and on and
Wednesday's
on.
got to be different now, man, because of all this, man. We gotta allocate more time to talk about this.
Nah, we just save it for the sauce. We do it on the sauce,
And
man.
then we got to move accordingly, people. Got to move accordingly. All right, now, tell me if we can see this, okay?
It is visible, sir.
All right, now for those that may be listening, we are looking at the Chicago Bears schedule 2026. You want to go week by week?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, week 1, Sunday, September 13th at Carolina, 12 noon on Fox. And tickets, kids, as low as $168 a piece.
Oh, that's okay. Wow. Do those tickets triple by the time I might be coming down to Chicago?
I
Well,
guarantee.
this is at Carolina.
I guarantee you.
Now remember, these
Carolina.
are at
That's why
Carolina.
ain't nobody trying to go see it.
If you ain't buying them
Carolina
bastards
Panthers
right
football.
now, don't even think about it.
All right. So, any thoughts on or the opponent or the TV network or ticket prices?
Well, I'll talk about this one a little bit. Shit. This is going to be a better game than anybody I think out there really actually expects it to be. I have this one as being potentially an upset. Hate to say this right off the bat. I have a strange feeling that this Panthers team that we've more or less been taking advantage of, over the course of the past 6, I think it's about 6 years.
Wait a minute. Upset in which direction?
We're Bears fans, so clearly the other direction.
Wait, you got Carolina winning this game?
You're hearing me say it.
Oh, kiss my ass. Go ahead.
See, you are hearing me say it, and the reason why I think they're going to win this game, they made a lot of changes and shifts to this particular team. This team is about to be good, and they're coming into this game V for Vendetta with revenge on the mind. So I have a strange feeling. This one might be a little bit of an upset here. I don't have a lot of stuff like this to say, folks. I'll be honest. Most of my take on this here schedule is going to be super positive, but I have a strange feeling. Game 1, we might just find we might see the best out of the Carolina Panthers. Period.
Well,
I'm
now
just saying.
I'll go next, and then Nomad bring us home. I don't think Ben Johnson and this offense and/or Caleb Williams will allow this offense to not produce and put up points. Whereas, sure, granted, I will give you that first week under Dennis Johnson with 4 or 5 new starters, on defense, might be a little leaky, but it's time for this offense to, carry the weight, carry the water a little bit for the defense until they can get in their groove, get gelled up, and get coordinated to where they can be a force and hold their own weight and carry when necessary. So Carolina will be the first in a long succession of victories for the Bears. No, man.
Man, Carolina taking the L in their own place. We're just going to be we're too much for them. I think offensively, we're just too much for them. And I do love their defensive front. Love Brown, the D tackle there. I love that defensive front is special, and they got a young up and coming secondary as well. They got a good team, man, and they've been drafting well. They've been accumulating talent well. This is going to be again, Kez is right. It's going to be a better game than people would expect, just on its face. But Chicago will win this game. They will.
All right. Week 2, Sunday, September 20th. The Minnesota Vikings come to Soldier Field, a 12 noon game, also on Fox. Tickets as low as $282. Kids.
This girl's going back to church if we lose to Carolina. So this one, in my opinion, is actually a little bit easy. Much like the previous game, this game's going to be more competitive than expected as well. And that's based on, very simply, the quarterback change. Why I say that is not because I think Kyler Murray's a particularly great quarterback. I think he has the ability to be a great quarterback, but that doesn't mean he's there yet today. The thing about Kyler Murray versus this particular defense is he's super mobile, and I think that's going to hurt us a little bit. The upside here is we're still going to pull this one out. W, Chicago Bears.
All right. Yeah, I'm agreeing that one. So as far as I'm concerned, right now the Bears are 2-0 because JJ McCarthy, Kyler, Call of Duty Murray, no fear for this defense. I think that they are containable, even though that Kyler has the experience and the mobility, but the team speed on this defense has increased. They'll have another week together in the system, learning to trust themselves within it. Their coaches calling the plays as well as their teammates on the field. And then while Minnie does have Brian Flores on defense and that confusing D, Dennis Johnson as well as Caleb Williams have shown that they can beat it. So yeah, no worries. No, Matt.
Hey, this is gonna be a tough game, particularly because of Kyler Murray. Now, I have faith in their head coaches and offensive coordinators, what he is, and he is a true quarterback whisperer. But his breath must have really been stinking when it came to the quarterback out of Michigan, that rookie they just put out there, or second-year player, whatever he was. McCarthy stinks, and his whispering did not work with him. But an experienced guy like Kyler Murray has been in the league for a while. He'll get this guy turned around. I'm telling you guys right now. And the fact that he's mobile is going to make the game even more dynamic. And he is extremely slippery, extremely slippery. He's the worst kind of he's your worst case scenario when it comes to a defense that plays a man-to-man concept for a majority of the game, because you're going to have to play spy concepts on him, because if he slips out and gets into the open, that's a 40-yard rip almost every time. It can't be if you don't do that, you're going to be sitting in zones, and he's experienced enough to bust that up and take advantage of your zone. So you're caught in a conundrum. You have to play him in a certain kind of way. And so again, man, don't discredit. Now, one thing about Minnesota last year is they sucked at stopping the run. Those D tackles that they paid last year didn't help them at all, man. They just got ran over for the majority of the season. And I'm telling you, I don't know. They did some things in the offseason. They kind of revamped that defensive front. And let's see, we'll see how much better it is, man. But I have nothing but faith in Brian Flores to know where the weaknesses are and plug them holes. So again, Minnesota is going to be a tough out again because of all those things I said. But I'm still saying we get the dub here.
All right, right on. And a real quick shout out to the capologist or whoever they were drafting by committee up there in Minnesota for taking Caleb Banks and leaving Dylan Thieneman for us. Good looks. Now, Monday, September 28th, week 3, the Philadelphia Eagles come to Soldier Field for 7:15 primetime game, ABC and ESPN. And the tickets, kids, $312.
Well, that's just because I think they heard that kids might be showing up. So Monday, September 28th is my birthday. I'm gonna do whatever I can to go to this Monday night game. If I can go to Monday night versus Philadelphia, I'll be a very happy man. Make my way over to Soldier Field and enjoy the Bears claiming their W over top Jalen Hurts, over top Saquon Barkley, over top Jalen Carter.
Let me ask you a question. Wouldn't it be easier for you, like to say, if this game was at Philadelphia, wouldn't it be easier for you proximity-wise to go to Philly?
This is not at Philly. This is at
Chicago. I'm just asking. Wouldn't it be easier for you?
I technically am closer to Philadelphia than I am to Chicago. Yes.
Okay. Carry on. I just want to know.
Yeah. I mean, if it was at Philly, it would be closer, but that still slightly defeats the purpose. I want to experience a little bit of Chicago over the course of that, that weekend, as well as this particular game. So that's me. I don't think there's really, we've played this team before. We beat them up last year. I think, unfortunately for us, again, this is going to be a little bit more of a competitive go, but I still think the Bears are going to be able to pull out the W here.
Right on. Yeah, I'm thinking week 3, Bears 3-0. It will be a tough game because, you got to respect Philly for what they are. Got a lot of veteran pieces, got a lot of well-paid pieces, got a lot of, brought in hitmen free agents. But team-wise, they're just a bunch of jamooks. So they don't have the leadership of a Ben Johnson. They don't have the dedication of a, Caleb Williams. They got Jalen Hurts. It's like, well, he's cool. He's good at tush push. Yeah, he can throw, but a lot of times he doesn't. Yeah, he can, make plays with his legs, but sometimes they don't. Yeah, they got a lot of pieces on defense, but they do be giving up a lot of TDs. So there's a lot going on with Philly, and Chicago, Philly, Chicago every time. 3-0, Bears, bear down. No, Matt.
Yeah, I don't think that that dub against Philly this year. There's a lot of people that live in the Philadelphia area that seems to think that was just a one-off. I don't think so whatsoever. I'm like, I used to box, and I think styles make fights. And I think our style matches up very well with Philadelphia, because if you can turn them into a one-trick pony, which is take away that running game and limit that running game, you force number one to throw the ball, and it's going to play into your favor. Point blank, period. And then you limit the mistakes on offense and not turn the ball over. You're going to find yourself in a chance to either win this game close or put a couple of touchdowns on them and win it by a couple touchdowns. I think this is just a good matchup for us, and I don't think it was a fluke. I think we match up well against these guys, and we get this dub again. And they're going to look very human after this game, and Chicago's going to get looked at in a different way after this.
So I'm just going to double down on this before we get to the next one. I think we put up a whole bunch of points against Philadelphia, and that's what stops the run game, right? They've been known to rely on the run, whether it's from the quarterback or clearly Saquon Barkley. I think we're going to put up numbers which makes them become one-dimensional, and that one-dimensional hasn't served them very well with respect to the passing game. And that's how I think we actually take this W with respect to Philadelphia.
All right. We move on to week 4, Sunday, October 4th, a noon game once again back on Fox versus the Jets. Jets, suck. Tickets as low as $243. I see this as a victory for the Bears, going 4-0 now. This offense of the Jets, what is it? Who the fuck knows? The defense for the Jets, they got no turnovers last year at all, so it will be possibly the Nashawn Wright revenge game. We shall see. But yeah, victory, Bears. I'm sorry, did I cut you? I went first. Damn, kids, my bad. Go ahead.
Real talk. I think we can probably just kind of skip over this game. This is, I mean, this is. Oh, really? Okay.
No, don't be a sleeper game, kids.
This is a straight W. I couldn't. This is straight W. This is as W as it possibly. You know what? I thought this was for a minute. I thought this was the Giants, and I was like, "Ooh, like this might be a tough game, maybe because Giants has done some cool shit." It ain't nothing good happening over in with the gangrene. So, yeah, W.
I'll tell you where this game can put you in the trick bag. Number one, you got another veteran quarterback. It's not no rookie. He's not no. This is a serious quarterback, man. Number one,
who's that quarterback?
Geno Smith is there again.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
All right, think what you want about Geno, man. But if they can block it up and get him protected, Geno will rip your ass up. Geno will rip your ass up if they can get it blocked up. And that's the question. I don't know. I'm not in on all the details of what the Jets did this offseason to make sure that offensive line is where it needs to be. So whoever's back there can function. But if they can get that passing game, that pass pro blocked up, they've got a chance because they got a qualified running back. They got some young ass talent that is pretty.
You're really going deep here. This is a W, isn't
it? I have to, man.
It's a W, though, right?
I don't listen. Let me finish. You don't look over this game because of the kind of talent. Everybody's going to look over this game. Everybody's going to expect the Bears players to look over this game. I don't look over teams. I don't care what their current status is. I just don't do that. I'm telling you, this is a scary game that I expect us to win. But I'm gonna tell you, that defensive front is ferocious.
Right.
That defensive front is ferocious, bro. They keep getting plucked every offseason with people, free agents leaving and guys getting traded, and they still end up ferocious. Their defensive front is going to dictate whether or not they stay in this game or not.
Yeah, because they did. Let's see, they re-signed Breece Hall, to pair with Geno. And then they got Thibodeau, they got Burns, they got the kid they drafted.
That's the wrong. No, that's the Giants. That's why I said.
Wait, who the Jets got up front?
They got nobody. They traded everybody away. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're ridiculous. You don't know then.
Who do they got? They traded all them cats away.
I'm not gonna say nothing, but you better study.
Wait, you say Jets? Yeah, but y'all go ahead. All right, but anyway, we'll look up go more into the rosters each week as we get to that game. But for right now, these are just the mid-May projections. We got to see, what injuries pan out, what trades pan out, what June 1st cuts pan out, how training camp pans out. But now, how it pans out on the 5th game of the season, Sunday, October 11th, at the Green Bay Packers, 3:25 p.m. on Fox. Tickets as low as $652. Now, this game, first divisional game for the Bears, and they will take it to 5-0 because, FGB and the Bears are going to start owning that ass. Ben Johnson has a particularly fetish in a good way about beating on LaFleur's ass. So we're going to keep that rolling. Bear TF down. Let's go, kids.
This is like, this is going to be a tough matchup because it always is a tough matchup. It's Chicago versus the Packers. Every single time it's a problem, it's an issue, it's a situation, and we're in Green Bay. I think we go to Green Bay and win this game. I do think we split with the Packers. I'll say that out loud. But I think we go to Green Bay and we win this game. Why? Because I love it when we win in Green Bay, damn it. It's about that simple. There's no sides to this. This is going to be a tough, hard-fought win, but I think it relies on the shoulders of Austin Booker if he's involved in this football game, which he should well be. I don't know what it is, but when he winds up in Wisconsin, it's not a good thing for Packers.
Somebody told me writing on the wall, I heard that Austin Booker got a Love Jones sack thing for Love.
Oh, he does. He does. He loves to sack that motherfucker.
He's a smart man. He's gonna get paid just for that.
And that's good enough for me. Great way to get paid.
All
You
right.
just untapped him.
I'm gonna give you guys a take, and just to be clear, before I even give you the take, I'm up in the air as I'm speaking. I don't know, but as I'm talking, let's see if I can talk myself into a Bears victory in Lambeau. Now I'm telling you, this is going to be a matchup. This is going to be a secondary game for us, and this is, to me, this is going to be the first time in this matchup that they're going to be truly tested in the secondary. And be honest with you, I do have confidence in the pieces that we have. I do. But we're going to see if by week 5, they've come together as a unit and they're able to handle a quarterback that can throw the ball all over the field, which is Jordan Love. He can make all the throws. He can throw that ball everywhere on that field. They've got weapons galore. They can play some football. And that's going to be the test. It's going to be whether our secondary are together at that point, because you can have individual pieces, but if they ain't together and communicating and on point in Lambeau Field in hostile territory, they can get taken advantage of. And let's see who's starting that cornerback. Let's see how they're playing the safeties. Also the linebackers, which Green Bay loves to target. Who they try to target and isolate in one-on-one situations. They are one of the best teams in the league at the line of scrimmage, making an audible and trying to take advantage of what the quarterback sees and what the center sees as the weakness in the defense. Little nuanced stuff, football-y stuff that I'm talking about, but they are one of the best teams in the league at adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Seeing what kind of defense you want to play and what you're comfortable in, and trying to find an advantage in that with the weapons that they have. This is going to be a sword fight, bro. And whoever lands the last lancing blow is going to win this game. And so I'm gonna piss y'all off. I'm gonna say Green Bay gets this one.
All right. Then that will take the team into week number 6, Sunday, October 18th, visiting Atlanta Falcons, and the Ian Cunningham no compensation revenge game is at noon on Fox, and the tickets as low as $120. What a goddamn bargain. The Bears will be going 6-0 after this visit down there to Atlanta.
It's cheap for me to go to Atlanta and then pay $120 to go see.
Who's the QB there now? That's why.
Yeah, that's the question I was just about to ask. Is it Penix? Is he healthy now? Because I don't recall them drafting. Who is the quarterback in Atlanta, y'all?
Penix is just fine.
Well, Penix can't stay on the field though. And then they let Kirk Cousins go.
They got a new coach, is why
Tua. Oh Lord! Speaking of not staying on the field, the Hawk Tua.
Is he really the starter though?
He might be, man. I think he might be.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, by this point, by the time we play him, who knows, man? But I think he'll be the week 1 starter.
So Penix, Tua. All right, who's the third one? Because their third quarterback is going to have to be ready. Whatever the case may be, that's going to be a week 6 dub. Bringing the good, better, best crew, to even better. Bear TF down, kids.
Okay. Look, we should win this football game as well. There is potential for loss here, just with respect to the running game, not really the passing situation.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, like Drake London has started to become a guy.
Drake London. Drake London.
Yeah,
Drake London.
You said Lemon.
I said London.
You said Lemming.
Did I?
My bad.
My bad. Drake London.
Out for the short. That's all.
Kyle Pitts.
I'll say it again. Drake London. And Kyle Pitts. I'm not. Is Kyle Pitts even still there? Did he get traded or anything?
I thought he got paid.
He got money.
He got paid. Kyle Pitts is looking good. I mean, like those two guys are going to be very helpful, regardless as to who the quarterback is. We're at that point in the season where you might have a little bit of chemistry. So this is the point of the season where we have to look at whether we can actually stop the run. Right? We've got a couple other games in this situation thus far where we may be challenged from a run game, with other teams' run games. I think this team might be a serious challenge. In any event, I have to give the Bears a W here because I don't feel like Atlanta is where they need to be with respect to being a true competitor in the NFC thus far. So I think the Bears, as long as we've got a working run defense at this point in the season, I think we win this game.
Well, I'm gonna give us a dub right off the top because there's so many loose pieces there in Atlanta right now. They got a new coach. Somebody's bringing in a new system. They've got Tua and Penix, two lefties, vying for the starting quarterback's job. And I don't think that's a good thing to have two lefties. You're 1 and 2, man. I think that's don't feel good, man, about that. However, let me tell you something. Atlanta has also invested heavily in their defensive front and in the linebacker and secondary core. They're nice and they're young and they're hungry. I'm gonna say this offensively. Bijan is probably gonna have more on his shoulders, and let's see how they structure this offense around probably Tua. Let's see how they structure this offense. By the time we see these guys at week 6, should be enough tape out there so we can have a solid game plan to see how those guys are gonna attack. And so they're an unknown right now. And with the iffy quarterback situation, with a group like the Bears, man, you can't help but to give the Bears a dub here, man, at Atlanta, bro.
All right, and before we go on, shout out to Kennesaw State. Because not only is that where Ryan Poles' favorite human beings, or at least one of them, Travis Bell, came from, but a shout out to running back Coleman Shelton, and UDFA running back. And if you have not watched Coleman Shelton's tape, look at that kid run. That is some fun film to observe. So I don't know what they doing with the biscuits or whatever they doing with the cheesy grits down there at Kennesaw State. But shout out to them. Let's see. Week 7 is a Thursday night game on Prime Video versus the New England Patriots with Coach I Care About My Wife and Children Vrabel at 7:15 p.m. Tickets as low as $292. I believe this is the week that the Bears will extend their record to 7-0 because Drake May versus Caleb Williams, the draft rematch or matchup, you got the rebuilt offensive Patriots line. Are they going to gel better than the Bears offensive line? I don't think so, because we got Coach Roush doing that thing. And like the Patriots defense, they got some different pieces on there. Is this the Kevin Byard revenge game, or is this the game where Coach Dennis Johnson and this Caleb Williams and one of these receivers show why Kevin Byard was let go? Because it's like, nah, you slow, homie. You can't cover this shit right here. And then so the Bears gonna be putting up points and gonna be stopping them. So yeah, Bear TF down. Let's go. Undefeated thus far. 0-7, kids. Or 7-0. Yeah, 7? Yeah, 7-0, kids.
Okay, so I have this one as an L, unfortunately, as much as I think, as much as I think that the Bears have the potential to be 6-ish and 0 or 6-1, in my opinion, up to here. I think we lose. I think we lose against the Patriots. I think this will be, again, a very hard-fought football game. Patriots have a very good team. Vrabel is a great coach. I do. I'm sorry. I
and he cares about his wife and kids. You are not the father.
Yeah.
But in this case, we all know he is.
Yes. Ouch.
Damn,
shout out to Maury Povich on that one. that was great. I actually used it early in the week. Just to put it out there. I'm glad you brought it back. In any event, this is where we are. I think that by this point, Mike Vrabel is going to be, at that level where he has to pull wins out to prove that he should still have a job. I think this is one of those actual jobs or one of those actual games. So, yeah.
Hey, I'm about to break this the F down right now, and y'all pay close attention to the details I'm about to give you guys. Number one, remember who the head coach is. He's a defensive coordinator. He's a ex-defensive player who they still play the same philosophy that Belichick played in New England. They look to take the head off of the snake. Whoever they think the snake is, they look to attack him. And so guaranteed, whether it's a running back, whether it's a tight end, whether it's a receiver, or whether it's Caleb Williams himself, they're going to look to take that individual out of the game. Much harder to take Caleb Williams out of the game when he's got the ball on every single play first. That's to our advantage. Number one, that defense is going to be very, very good. The roster is very good. It's deep, especially in the trenches. Very good. Number two, they invested heavily in the offensive line with this young quarterback. They invested heavily, as well as we did. So you got two kind of likewise scenarios going at the same time. As us that invested in the trenches for our quarterback, young quarterback, they did the same thing for theirs. They've got a nice – we'll see who shakes out to be the left tackle over there. We'll see there. But in a primetime game in Foxborough against the Bears, it's going to be all about who turns the ball over least, who has the least giveaways, because it's going to be a nose buster. It's going to be physical. And it's going to be some 3-and-outs. It's going to be a lot less points scored than you might imagine. It's going to be kind of boring. But the team that doesn't turn the ball over as much as the other team is going to win this game. And unfortunately, I'm going to give some home cooking to New England here, and we take an L here.
Oh, damn. All right, Paul is saying Bradbury revenge game. Hey, I'm calling it. Logan Jones is beating Bradbury out in camp for the starting spot.
Don't forget
and
about
also
Andre Stevenson too, man. He really showed his mettle in this playoff situation, man. He's a different kind of running back, man.
They're both good.
Right. All right, shout out also a side note to Carl Williams, Caleb Williams' pappy, and that is verified, kids. He is the pappy.
He is the pappy.
He put out a few hype videos. Two short ones featuring Caleb, and then one featuring head coach Ben Johnson. So that was pretty cool of him. I sent.
So you're saying that he doesn't hate the team any longer and want his child to go to a different team,
and wants him to succeed.
And
wants the team to succeed.
This is great. It's good news. I like this.
It is. So if you're on the tick of the talk or the Twitter, check them out. I think I sent one link to you there in the chat, kids.
Wait a minute. I got to change my take.
You got to change your what?
I got to change my take because I thought we were playing in New England. I'm flipping that. I think we get the home cooking. That's a dub for us. I'm looking at this wrong. I'm looking at this.
You went hot wings versus pizza Chicago style dog.
I think we get some home cooking there, man. I think we get the dub against New England.
Okay. All right. Now, shout out to everyone in the chat and those listening or watching, however you are, whether it is the Nomad Network or it is Keds the Canuck or it's at RRSCS, also known as Sports Chicago Style. We appreciate you joining us for Nomad at Night. Make sure you give a like or that thumbs up, if you will. But more importantly, that you are subscribed to all three channels. Much appreciation for the support. Thanks for hanging out with us. And continuing on, we now move to a road game, the 8th game of the season, Monday, November 2nd, 2 days before my birthday. At 12, man, Seattle's defending Super Bowl champions, 7:15 viewed on ESPN and ABC. Tickets as low as $338. All right. Kicking it off, I can see where the new ownership, whoever they may be, is like, they're selling Monday night tickets for $338. This could be worth the investment. They got a built-in fan base. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, as far as the Bears go, defending Super Bowl champions, you know what I'm saying? You got to give them their respect. You got to give them their due. But they did lose their starting running back, and while their offensive line were sufficeable, it was not impenetrable. Their defense, Kobe Bryant, revenge game. You know what I'm saying? He's going back up there, representing with his ring and all that good stuff. The way it washes out, ultimately, the Bears will be leaving the Northwest. Not only not sleepless, but not depressed and undefeated. 8-0, kids. Bear TF down.
That's a lot of W's. I got this one as an L as well. They're going up against Super Bowl champs. You did mention that running game and losing Kenneth Walker 3. They picked up a running back this time around, and he ain't so bad either. So I want you guys to pay attention to that little situation. They did the old switcheroo, got themselves a back, lost the back, paying the back a heck of a lot less this time around. So I think that running back is going to run ruckshot over the NFL as well. And question at this point in the season, again, is do we have the stroke to be able to stop some powerful run game? And if you look at these last 3 games, it's a whole lot of running going on. Ramondre Stevenson, Travion Hendrickson, Bijan Robinson, and now the new young man. I believe it's Price, if I'm correct. In any event, whole lot of running going on. Can the Chicago Bears shore up the sieve that has been the defensive line for the last little while? We're going to find out. But in this particular situation, I'm giving them an L.
All right, I'm going to give us another dub here, and I'm going to say it. And I told you guys before the playoffs even started for us, and we had a chance to play Seattle, and it was up in the air whether we would play them or not. And kids, I remember kids was just like, why would you want to play Seattle? They're hot and they're bad as shit right now. I was just like, because matchups. I think we match up very well against them, and I think that now. I'm telling you, they run probably one of the best, and I'll put the Bears in that conversation. The Bears are in this conversation. The 49ers are in this conversation. Let me think of another team. The Rams are in this conversation as well. Maybe a little bit less them because of Matthew Stafford. But I'm talking about the ratio of pass to run to pass, how they mix it up well and use that aspect of the running game to keep your linebackers kind of frozen for at least a second. You know what I mean? To be able to run guys behind them. That dynamic play in and play out when you play Seattle offensively. And so what I can say to that is they keep you honest as a defense. They really keep you honest and make you respect every single player out there on the field. So you got 11 guys out there and you only have 6 guys that are live. 6 guys can be live. You have to respect every last one of those football players, whether it's an inline tight end, whether it's a tight end flanked out wide, whether it's the running back, whether it's the quarterback. You have to respect every single one of those guys, and they use them in every down in and down out situation. The Seattle Seahawks, it's the reason why they won a championship. They can do that to you offensively. And defensively, bar none, they're probably one of the most talented from top to bottom defenses in the league. And the depth. So you have to respect them. That being said, I still say the Chicago Bears can withstand them and beat them if they can get the turnover ratio to fall their way in this game. I think it's going to come down to that in Seattle. That's kind of what I was thinking about when I was thinking about New England, but it was a Seattle game that I was kind of thinking about. So I think we take the L there.
All right. So that will advance to week number 9, Sunday, November 8th, the third of 3 prime time games at 7:20 p.m. Tickets, $224. What a bargain. Now, this, excuse me, I believe will be another opportunity for the Bears to exploit just how much of a mid, Tampa Bay team is, franchise, all of that. Offensively, defensively, Tampa Bay is like, hey, we're okay on both sides of the ball, whereas by now, week 9, you'll have some defensive adhesion as well as some offensive rhythm and flow. Especially being good on the 7th game, Prime Video, better on the 8th game, ESPN, and the best going into the bye on the 8th, and the bye being the next week. So week number 9, the Bears 9-0. Bear TF down. Cats.
Damn. This is going to be a tough game as well because of just really because of that receiving core in Baker Mayfield. But we're going to pull the W out on this one. I've got full confidence in this particular game. It'll be a good matchup, but I do believe Caleb Williams and the gang will pull this one out. Bear down against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think the mindset going into week 8, you would just imagine, I'm gonna knock on wood, probably getting some guys a little nicked up, and you probably need that bye week that's coming right after that, and they're gonna have to kind of rally the troops to get this game, and you always want to go on a bye week on an upswing. You don't want to go into a bye week on a depression because it makes the bye week a little bit worse. It makes the coaches a little bit more irritable. They want to get you back in the building as quick as possible and start correcting mistakes. And so this is going to make everybody knows that plays the game knows that if you want to have some peace when you got your week off, you better make sure you win the week before. If not, you're going to have drama. And so I know they'll have the mindset, might have some subs in there, some second string guys at that point, some guys that, it's just nature of the game. Some attrition might be happening, you know what I mean? But the same thing is going to be happening with Tampa Bay as well as us. It's not like Chicago is going to be unique to that. This is why I like the bye week at 10, because you get a chance to go off and you probably had a nice little run there. You can end this and on a good note, regroup, refocus your team, refocus your offense, change some things. You can change some things defensively. This is the time to do it. But before that, Tampa Bay is going to be a tough out. Defensively, they are extremely tough. Offensively, they're hit and miss. But I give the advantage to Chicago because I think we're just better put together than them, even at Tampa Bay. This is at home, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I'm giving us that. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, it's going to be November 8th, so global warming will be 90 degrees out there. We don't know. All right, so that brings us to the bye week, week 10, which I will say is the perfect bye week, in my opinion, right in the middle of the season, right in the middle of the bye weeks. So you can heal up those dings and dangs and dunks from the earlier in the season the players can, and get a little rest and prepare for the grind of the second half of the season and the playoffs. Yes, expectations are higher or are actually expected. You know what I mean?
I called this shit Wednesday night, man. How in the fuck did we end up with a bye week at 10? I called this shit Wednesday night.
No, that was Kez. I said 10, wasn't it?
No, it was me. That was me.
No, it wasn't. It was me. I watched.
No, that was Kez.
Of course, it wasn't me.
Go to the tape because I remember him saying 10.
Totally said, but it's all.
Y'all actually asked me why do I think?
I think you said earlier. You said like
no.
7, 8.
No. I said why I didn't think early is the best time to have a bye.
Go to the tape, damn it. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Either way, I think this is a great spot. This is a great spot for us to have.
It is a great spot. It's exactly where we want it because, let's be frank, at week 10, we're pretty close to the trade deadline. In case certain things didn't work out the way that certain people thought they might. You might be able to make a move here if a move is required. So that's exactly where you want this thing to be. Same token, if there's readjustments that are required, you can sort of come out of this particular week with 7 games to go. If we didn't shake things out the way we wanted it to, you may be able to make the right adjustments to get you into the playoffs. It's a perfect time.
All I know is we better be secure at left tackle by that point.
Hopefully things are being solidified.
Don't use that word.
I'm just telling you, man, that's that right there. We better be solid there because this guy doesn't play. The head coach doesn't play. He's going to rejuvenate that defensive front, and they're going to be in attack mode, man. That defensive front, that hybrid front that they play is extremely dynamic, and they are physical, bro.
Who are you talking about?
Tampa Bay, man, and the head coach, man, he's not fucking playing, man.
Threw me off. Though he's on the bye week.
No. So whoever our left tackle is at that time better be a dog, because he's gonna get tested.
Well, what are you doing?
I'm just telling you right now, man.
You know we did.
That's the shit we ain't mentioned so far on the show.
We didn't draft a left tackle, right?
Well, I'm just telling you, man. Yeah, I think it's the guy that we got. And that's number 71 from Cleveland. If he's healthy, we got the right guy. We got the right guy.
Well, I didn't put it like this. Today, I saw a picture from mini camp, and it was Caleb Williams in the offensive line. And in the picture, helmets off, just standing around bullshitting, was Darnell Wright with Caleb, Braxton Jones, Joe Tooney, I believe Jonah Jackson, and Bradbury, or Jackson might not have been there, but Bradbury was in the picture and not Jones. But so between Braxton Jones, who's getting a fair shot, and free agent Jedrick Wills, whoever plays better, seems like they got the position. And hopefully, by then they've held the position and now are getting, gelled up. But that will take us to week number 11.
Before you go that far, Trish, let's talk about that a little bit more about the left tackle. I would just assume, just my assumptions, that they'll probably give that to Braxton Jones to lose early. And if he loses it, he'll lose it. When the pads come on is when he'll get a chance to lose it. Probably somewhere around whenever they scrimmage, whoever they plan in joint practices with, is when we'll find out.
Yeah, and Lord Crimson is saying it won't be Braxton. Scrolls Scrolls said something, aka Red Baron. But then Ralphie's saying Ozzy should be back. So
Ozzy might be back at this point.
Ozzy will not be back by then.
By week 10, you don't think so?
I think he'll be close, but he won't be back.
Okay. This is like
because you can come off the pup on the week 6, I believe.
That's what I heard. That's exactly what I heard. So week 6, he'd be off. This is 4 weeks after that, which is exactly when they would be looking to potentially play him. You nailed the Braxton Jones situation, which is like they're going to give him the green light in camp. I don't think Braxton Jones makes it out of camp as the left tackle of this team.
It'll be his to lose, and he very well.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
May lose it.
You're saying they're gonna give him the opportunity, but he will lose it to Jedrick.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
If Jedrick Wills,
what up, Devontae?
If he's healthy, Jedrick Wills.
Well, but here's the thing, though. But apples to apples, if he's healthy, which is apples to apples, Jedrick Wills versus Braxton Jones, just straight up talent level, run blocking and pass blocking. Jedrick Wills is just more talented. Is that a fair statement?
No, that's an awesome statement because it's just flat out true.
Oh,
talent level is they're in 2 different categories. He's thorough, and when he's right, if their gamble is right, and Jedrick Wills is right, Braxton Jones will unseat that job at some point. He better be really good in this camp.
Say that again.
Braxton will be unseated in the job.
Okay, that's what I thought he was trying to say.
What did I say?
It's okay.
I said he will unseat that job.
You said Braxton Jones will unseat that job.
Yeah, that means that Braxton will take the job.
Yeah, that's what that means. Know what I'm saying?
I think you're meaning that Braxton will lose the
yeah,
job.
yeah. I was trying to say he will. He's in the seat given camp.
He will be unseated, which is what Tripp just said.
He's in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
but he will be unseated by
Maybe I said it
Wills.
the wrong way. Yeah,
You did. Not a big deal. I just wanted to make sure.
Nomad be verbally dyslexic sometimes.
It doesn't happen very often. It doesn't happen very often. This is just one of them times, and one of them times where I wanted to make sure what you were saying came across the right way. Because again, as much as you might like Braxton Jones, I don't think that even you think he's coming out of. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Higgins say what? And like, I don't think that
I just be trying to give
Braxton Jones is coming out of camp for the
credit for what he deserves credit.
And
that's cool.
When we're talking about the level of talent, they're in two different categories.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying I don't see if Braxton got out, if he got unseated last season by Theo Benedict. I don't see him being able to retain the seat with Jedrick Wills, a hungry Jedrick Wills and a healthy Jedrick Wills in camp. I don't see him making it to September to September.
Okay, I got a quick question for you guys. Do y'all remember what week in camp that we did the joint practices? Was it like 2 or 3 weeks in the padded practice? It had to be like a couple weeks in the padded practices at least.
Yeah, that was like week 3, 4.
Okay, so what
they went away crying, talking about, oh, they hit us hard.
Okay, all I would want to say is, I would love for them. I'm not giving no declarations about what they need to do, what they don't need to do, but it'd be nice if they knew exactly who they had by that point. By the time they came out of that joint practice.
You think they will? I don't think. Like, unfortunately,
I think in the right world where they can have a steady offensive line that's functioning for the rest of the year, that's the right outcome. But if they don't, I would understand it.
Well, but here's the thing, though, kids, that if the talent level is as vast as we all think it is, no matter how hard Braxton works, it should just be a clear and obvious showing that it's like, Wills, let's go ahead and pencil him into that left tackle spot, and it should be his to lose, by the time camp breaks. He should have that solidified. And if he doesn't, then it's like, oh shit, Braxton has made some vast improvements in his game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be that clear cut by this point. I'm just saying it definitely wasn't last year. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, it was not at this point. They were still. We don't know if it's Ozzy or Theo.
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, though, kids.
I'm not saying it's terrible. I just don't think they'll have.
It's a good problem to have. You just want to get it resolved as soon as you can.
And that problem, Red Baron said, Braxton is our best run blocking left tackle, hands down. Is that even better than Wills? Because remember, Wills wasn't on the team last year. We haven't seen him play on this team, but he was a top 10 draft pick, versus Braxton Jones, Jim find in the 5th round, Ryan Poles. But run blocking or pass blocking, I believe Wills is just a higher level talent.
Oh yeah.
So Scrolls. It's not so much that he didn't shine in Cleveland, it's that he was injured the entire time. That's the problem. Like there's a season where he did shine, and then he got injured towards the end of that season. Didn't really make it back for the next season, and didn't really make it back for the season after that. And so they finally cut bait. So this is his revenge tour. Hopefully he's fully healthy, ready to go, and has a chip on his shoulder. But that's like Devontae saying he did shine it, like he did, but injury, right?
Let me tell you, Scrolls, when that cat was right, one of the best left tackles in the league.
Potentially, at least from a from a stock or genetic makeup and or experience, right? Like all of those things you can sort of give the kid above Braxton Jones. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah. Braxton I believe they actually had the same injury at this point.
Hey, kids, I watched enough of that guy's snaps. And, you take the bitter with the sweet when you're watching reps, man. You know, you take there's bad reps in everybody's sets, man. But let me tell you something. When that guy was right, he was absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
Jedrick Wills was absolutely dominant at left tackle, whether it be in run blocking, whether it was in pass pro. Absolutely dominant. When he was healthy, which is why he took the entire year off. And I give him praise for that, man. Just having the wherewithal to know where your body is and know that, like, if I just continue to keep putting my body through this, I'm gonna just keep coming up lame every single
Well,
time.
he re-injured and then he took it was like, you know what? I can't come back again like this.
Even after that, a lot of people would continue going because they can't stand missing the check.
Yeah.
I just give him a lot of credit for just saying, you know what? Let me give my body. I'm still young. Let me give my body a chance to recover.
Right.
And giving him himself that year, I think is going to do the Bears a wonderful service, man.
Well, like I say, he should be coming out. Like, he should be coming into camp with a chip on his shoulder, man, ready to rock and roll, ready to go. You know, much like everybody thought Braxton was going to last year. But these big boys, when they're banging on the line, man, shit happens. You might get hurt, right? So, you know, just like Schwartz was saying, he snapped his leg and was ready to play. Yeah, he was, but he wasn't really ready to play.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think that was
ready.
He was one of them guys that probably needed a year himself.
Yeah, with that little baby ankle that he had, that little baby ass leg, because he couldn't work it out and weight lift it.
He put the extra. He's lucky he got out of the season without another major injury, man. So.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't play him, right? They didn't play him.
That might have been to his benefit, man.
Well, they gave him the opportunity to show what he had, and it was like, nah, that's not.
He couldn't rise to his level, and they did right by not playing him. He wasn't the same Braxton Jones.
So to what you're saying, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at the last game of the season, they moved Tooney over instead of playing Braxton Jones, and that was purposeful. Yeah. Me saying this and bringing this up, maybe Braxton needed a year just like Jedrick Wills did, right? To really shore up so he could compete for this role. And I think that's part and parcel as to why they signed him at all, just to give him that opportunity to test the waters. But in order to do so, they also signed somebody else who might be like, dog, you know where I'm going down the road. Like, there's no reason why Benedict can't beat either one of them out.
Well, but here's the thing, though.
Except for this reason. Hold on. The reason that I don't think Theo wins, I actually think Jedrick Wills is a step above both of them.
Oh, hell yeah. But
that's what I'm trying to say.
Was Theo still healthy at the end of the season to play left tackle when they kicked Tooney out, or was he?
And they decided not to play him either.
Well, obviously, Theo is robbing in this scenario. He's robbing. We got
Batman.
We got three of them. We got three of them right now. And
I don't think there's only
there's going to be two Robins, but one of them we know is Theo.
Well, I think if Theo is ahead of Braxton because of his versatility. We don't know if he can because we've never seen it. Braxton playing right tackle. We know that Theo can do both in a swing of capacity. Whereas I believe Jedrick is a dedicated left tackle. So it's between Jedrick and Braxton for that starting left tackle spot, whereas Theo, I believe, is kind of penciled in as your swing.
What you talking about, Paul?
Hold on, Kez. We got pretty much 3 one-trick ponies, guys that only play on the left side.
3 one-trick ponies.
Maybe 4 with Kieran Amagaji because we haven't seen him on the right side as well.
We
ain't going to
forget about him.
And so I don't know about all that. I don't write nobody off, but I think we got one-trick ponies. Theo's value is incredible because he can flex over there and perform. And so he will be around and have a good chance to make quality depth on this roster just because he can swing. By the end of this camp, hopefully there'll be another guy or 2 that can swing. But right now we have one guy that consistently swing to the right side that we know of, and that's Theo, which makes his spot you can't mess with him right now. He'll be around because of his value. But as far as the other guys, they're mostly one-trick ponies.
You know, it looks like a situation whereas guys with 1 year left on their deal, where it's like, man, y'all have to show us something, to get re-signed, from Terrell Smith, Tyreek Stevenson, Javon Dexter. But then you look at the left tackle spot with Theo, with Jedrick, and with Braxton. They can let them all play, and if they get decent enough years, where even if the Bears don't want to re-sign them, and they're able to get contracts in the open market, that's still a net benefit for the Bears. So a lot of prove it 1 year, or not a lot, but a few prove it 1 year deals is also a way to, maintain cap and get compensation, capital, down the road while benefiting the team. So I could see it from that perspective, as well as, Ben Johnson just wanting the best guy out there, to run his offense. And, whoever that is, unlike the Flus regime, where it's like, man, it seems like a lot of politics on this team. I don't think politics is involved. I don't think contract amounts or links are involved. If you can play, you're on the field.
No maniacs. Do me a favor, and Trips Kids do the same. As you're keeping track of the Bears this all season and who's doing what, pay close attention to which guys they put out there early and often taking right tackle reps out of the guys that I just told you were one-trick ponies. Out of the left tackles that we have, see who they put over there and give a run at right tackle, but pay particular attention to how that looks when the pads come on.
Yeah, and then Corny is bringing up, don't sleep on the vanilla gorilla. He can play any place on the line.
He's a guard.
And then the center / guard UDFA Crunk. He can play as well. Say that again?
Nope.
Kump, KUMP?
Yeah.
There you go. Kump. No, not CUNT. Stop it, kids.
Come on,
kids, you just asked.
I didn't say nothing. That's
all right,
why
true.
I said
True Pilgrim, bear down. Kids always start in trouble. All right, so week number 11. It's Sunday, November 22nd, where the New Orleans Saints come to Soldier Field at 12 noon on Fox. Tickets for the low of $215. The Saints, do we know what they are? They got the veteran in Kamara, maybe still after the trading deadline, but their quarterback Coleslaw, whatever his name is, we don't know. Their defense, it's the Saints. We don't know. And because we don't know what they are, but we do know what the Bears will be, especially coming out of a bye mid-season, ready to push, not only to make the playoffs, but it's like, hey, yo, this division, these playoffs, let's go ahead and finish out this season by taking them. They will continue that undefeated streak and be 10-0 on the season. Bear TF down, kids.
I don't have a lot to talk about here. W. Ain't shit really going on. That's by way of good things and football in New Orleans. Like, they got great food, crawfish and stuff, but W.
We might be looking at a different. Let's just say they'll trot out in the first 9 games, whatever it is that they plan on attacking the league with and NFL teams with. Let's see if they have to go back to the drawing board and restructure what they're doing. I don't know where the trade deadline falls in this scenario, but I think that'll have like a team like New Orleans could be depleted by this point. You know what I mean? So they might get plucked, in the trade deadline, and they might really flip this team over. So we just don't know exactly what, at this point in the season, at week 11?
Yep, week 11.
Yeah, so we don't. There's a lot of things that can play out that can alter this game, and that trade deadline scenario could alter the New Orleans Saints team, and it could alter the Chicago Bears team for the better as well. Yeah, this is a dub, man.
All right, and so coming off of that, we go to the next game, which will be 4 days later on Thanksgiving, where the Bears will go to the toilet to play the Kitties at 12 noon on CBS, right there on Turkey Day. So, short turnaround, fast turnaround, if you will, a short in between games. This will be the Kitties' Super Bowl, if you will. They're like, we hate you, Ben Johnson, because we love you so deeply and miss you and wish that you were still with us. And we hate that we have to see you and see you be happy and successful because they're petty little people. The Kitties are and their fans. So, the Bears will be like, hey, prime time. We are still trying to strive and get better and stronger to the playoffs. The Bears will be 11-0 by the end of Turkey Day, kids. Bear TF down.
Damn. No losses from Triple R.
Rolling.
So, yeah, I think we win this one. I think we go to Detroit and we leave eating turkey. That's what I think happens this time around. I think the people of Detroit will be super pissed. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Like this is a very important game, right? This is really one of those games where we get to test this secondary. This secondary has to be fully connected with each other. They need to be playing the right way. I don't think we're going to be able to get to Jared Goff, but the upside to me is if Jared Goff has no place to throw the football, somebody gonna get to Jared Goff, and that's how this should potentially work. And I need to see that happen live and direct on November 28th, Thursday night. That's where I'm at. Oh, Thanksgiving Thursday, that is.
I'm gonna give you guys my take from about 60 feet above. I'm kind of looking. I just want to tell you my mindset before I get into details. From above and from that distance, what I've been saying the last couple of years on the channel is, and I'll say it again, Detroit had a window to win a championship, maybe two. Maybe two. I think they had a strong enough team to do that. But I think, and this is gonna kind of settle itself, I think, long before we see them in week 12. What I saw them gradually turn themselves into throughout the season last year, I think is going to be at the forefront this year. They ain't the same team. They don't have the same gusto that they had when they celebrating in the end zone and running 40 points up on everybody in the league. That's not the same Detroit Lions we're about to face by the time we get to them in week 12. That's not going to be the same team. And I think the dust will have settled on the Detroit Lions by the time we see them in week 12. Now, saying all that doesn't mean that we're going to see a weak-ass Detroit Lions team. They're going to have the same piss and vinegar about them to beat the Chicago Bears that they had any other time we played them, even if their season is going to shit. Just letting you know that right off the top. It's not going to be easy, but it will not be the same Detroit Lions team. And I'm gonna give you a real hot take. By the time we get to week 12 playing the Detroit Lions, there will be questions about not only Dan Campbell, but that quarterback. I promise you. Mark my words. You want to write this down and Nomad told you that? By the time we get to week 12, that's going to be the conversation. I promise you. Now,
what's the conversation going to be about?
Dan Campbell is going to be getting questioned, and they're going to have questions about Jared Goff.
Well, when you say that, and kids, I had a retort for kids or a concern that kids was concerned about of how this defensive line won't get to Jared Goff. And it's like, granted, Jared Goff's game is the quick release, the timing, getting the ball out. And I would counter with that the upgrades and personnel that Dennis Allen got isn't going to allow Jared Goff that quick zoom. plus the speed off the ball upgrades of Street, of Lynch, what's the other brother on the defensive line we added? Street, Lynch, and
Neville Gallimore.
Gallimore, thank you. That, getting off the ball that much quicker is going to speed up things. So that's going to lead to either sacks or more forced throws, which are going to lead to interceptions. So I believe that golf timing aspect is negated, and it also helps that he's goddamn statue back there in the pocket.
But this is what I'm saying. It's
no, Leo.
Either and or, right?
Oh no, Leo. Let me tell you right now.
What?
Pacheco is a tough runner. He's a tough runner. So is David Montgomery. But David Montgomery, I'd say, is probably I'll give him a couple extra stripes above Pacheco, and that's just us knowing David Montgomery, in depth. He's a different. They're gonna miss David Montgomery. I'm telling you that right now.
Kansas City let go of Pacheco for a reason.
He's tough, but I'm telling you, David Montgomery was tough.
But here's the thing, though. Pacheco, the thing that's impressive about him is his speed. But the thing is, he got to get to a position where he can use the speed, and he tries to be tough, but he be getting broke up, in his efforts to be tough. And so not a Monty who, we thought he had his injury concerns, but he would always play through that shit. And, he, showed that heart and that toughness that I just don't see in Pacheco, but maybe that's just me.
I think Demo will end up being probably the biggest mistake they've made in the offseason.
It's not going to, it's going to be an interesting situation from a run game perspective, but I don't think they're going to see much difference. What's his name is really going to just
David Montgomery's intangibles, the things that they can do with David, because he's a great receiver out of the backfield. He's great in short area. The extended plays that he made just by not going down easy and just being dynamic and wiggling out of stuff. He made plays for them that only David Montgomery can do. They will miss him. I promise you that, kids. Guarantee it.
Well, Red Baron is saying Pacheco runs violently for about 2 yards.
Mm-hmm.
King is saying Pacheco going to give you the hardest 2-yard runs in history. So whereas we all know, Monty will give you a solid 3.5. So, yeah.
Damn.
He's a much better running back.
No, I agree with you. He's a much better running back than Pacheco. Same token, I do think I do think they'll get what they need out of their primary RB, right? He's easily I think he's the top pass catching back in the NFL.
He's the top back in the NFL.
That goes without saying, but I mean that just the pass catching capability that you might lose with David just means they line him up that much more often, and you really focus on Pacheco for that 3-yard situation. You might want to go head to head on, and that's about it. But
I also think because David's not there, I think it alters the dynamic in that backfield, and they rely on Gibbs a little too much. And by the time we see him, he's gonna have some himpy gimps going on.
That's not a crazy thought. I strangely don't think so. I think he's able to handle the whole. I think he can be a bell cow back if you really needed him to be. Yes, I think it was really great that I think it was great that Detroit sort of gave him a partner to take a little bit of weight off of him initially, but I think he can hold the rock down. I think he can hold it down by himself. So we'll see how that works.
I do think he's better. I think Gibbs is the best player in the NFL.
Yeah,
I think Gibbs is way better than Bijan.
His comment, Red Baron saying, do you think Gibbs is better than Bijan? And you got unanimous with Nomad and Kev saying yes.
I agree for sure.
I not only think he's better, I think he's the best player in the league right at this point.
Bijan?
Best player in the league is saying a large thing, and I'm not sure.
The best player in the league.
I'm not sure I really have a viable argument to put against that. He'll run the rock anywhere. He's a major threat in the passing game. He's the better part of that Detroit offense. Not to really take anything away from Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, but it's Jahmyr Gibbs, y'all. Like he's a special player.
A year or two ago, I might have said Saquon Barkley, but right now, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the best player in the NFL.
See, even me, I would have, like, if Gibbs is in the NFL, I would go Gibbs because of his ability to catch the pass. Like he's versus Saquon. Like Saquon's
you think he can catch the ball?
Don't get me wrong. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the best pass catching backs we may have ever seen in the NFL. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Saquon can't catch the ball. I'm saying Jahmyr Gibbs is an amazing pass catching back.
Saquon isn't, when it comes to hand, Saquon Barkley is probably so much more unique than any back that I've seen since LaDainian Tomlinson, as far as his hand and flat out running the ball ability. Saquon Barkley is a unicorn. Gibbs, he's touching that category. He's touching that category right now, and that's special. That is special. That's what I'm talking. I'm describing special. Yeah, he's the best. He's the best player.
All right,
I agree with you.
Right on. All right, so that will move us on into December, Sunday, the 6th, week 13. And the Jacksonville Jaguars come to town, quarterbacked by Sunshine himself, who mistakenly or foolishly or fooling the fans got a Ellen DeGeneres haircut on schedule release week. But they will be coming to Soldier Field for a 12 noon game on Fox. And the tickets, dirt cheap for $196 a piece.
Duval.
And their serial killer head coach will be coming to Chicago to come on, take this early December L, pushing the Bears record to 12-0, of course. Offensively, Sunshine just don't put no fear in no defensive hearts. And, defensively, who they going to rely on? Travis Hunter? Yeah, the Bears, undefeated, Bear the fuck. I'm sorry, check that. Bear TF down. Got to keep it PG for the Clips kids. Let's go.
Yeah, I think we might lose this game too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's in Chicago, kid.
It does make a bit of a difference, but like, here's what I don't know. Right? Towards the end of last season, this team started to become a football team. Right? We walked into 2025 laughing Duval and thinking the Jags were gonna get run over like they always do. That wasn't the case though. And ain't none of us really watching Jaguars football. You can tell me you are, and that's cool, but I ain't watching no Jaguars football. You can pay me enough.
I did a little bit.
All right. I didn't. But what I can tell you is the record was not abysmal. They were potentially a playoff team, right? They actually played very well. Trevor Lawrence kind of stepped it up. Wide receivers finally started to take place and take shape. Got a little bit of like the defense is working. I don't know. I think this is actually going to be a really good. Bears are over 500 right now, bro. I'll tell you what the end result is when we get to the end there, Crimson. So I think shit, because this is a home game, dog. I kind of have this one as a complete toss up for me, but I'm gonna give the Bears the yell here for the sake of it. Bears up.
I'll tell you what you probably didn't factor into this.
What?
And
weather in December.
Oh no, you got that going on. You did mention that. Another thing I want you to probably pay a little closer attention to is this ain't the same Bears team at week 13 as it would have been a couple years ago when we first started doing these podcasts. Our home field is going to be a particular advantage, especially at this point in the season. They're going to be feeling the energy. the atmosphere is going to be electric at Soldier Field, and we're going to have a huge advantage by way of that. The fans are going to be ballistic in there, and the team is going to feed off of it. That being said, let's get the X's and O's out of the way. Again, Jacksonville is one of those teams that really, really dug in as far as the draft goes in the trenches between the linebacker and defensive line position. They are tough.
They drafted well. You're right.
They've drafted very well, and that's another team that keeps getting plucked when free agents come available. They just can't hold on to them because they draft so well. They have to let them go, and they end up being studs for other teams. But they continue to bring in new talent, and they continue to cycle them in and play well. However, I do think Chicago is going to be a particular kind of prickly creature at that point in the season, and it's going to be hard for Jacksonville with their warm ass to come in Chicago at that point in the year to come and get a dub. Nah, they taking an L that day.
Mm-hmm. All right, and so that will, conclude the festivities of Week 13 with that Jacksonville game, pushing to Week 14 on Sunday, December 13th. The Bears go down to Miami and play a 12 noon game on CBS. And tickets, man, $128. That ain't nothing but some couch change. So looking at Miami, it's always, hardcore for Chicago teams to go down there and play in the wintertime because it's like, such a relief from the winter, and you got the scantily clad beach dwellers and layers out and such, and all the Miami Vice Lambos, and it's like, yeah, Miami, but this is business. This is a Ben Johnson coach team, and they're going down there to continue the tradition of beating the hell out of these soft ass Dolphins. Because you know what? Teams take on the personality of their coaches. And they wonder why the Dolphins are like, oh, the Bears hit us in training camp like they were playing football. Yeah, exactly. And so by then, the Dolphins will be, having like oars taken to them. They ain't going to want none. So the Bears keep it rolling, undefeated, leaving Miami 13-0. Bear TF down. Cats.
Okay, well, this is an easy one, too. This is just a straight-up W. Ain't shit going on good in Miami. So, yeah. W. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to get scientific on this one. No, man?
Well, this is a very easy one to call. I cannot blame you for not being, a little bit more in detail, but let me get there. Whenever you have a quarterback turnover, and if I'm not mistaken, did they turn over the coach? Maybe just a quarterback. But anytime you have a quarterback turnover, and I don't know exactly who's going to be the guy down there.
They signed Malik Willis.
Willis, I think there's some. I think we'll find out early in the season. And again, man, you talking about a young quarterback getting his first chance to be a starter in the NFL early in the season. You can expect him to have his ups and downs. But by the time they get to here, Malik Willis should be a much better quarterback because of the understanding of the structure of the offense. He will be a better player if he survives to this point. He's got to survive and not get yanked out for some other young quarterback and given some other opportunity. But the kind of money that they paid him, he kind of has to be the starter if he's healthy. And so we'll see. I think by the time we play Miami, Malik Willis will be a better football player in that offense than he would have been, say, if we saw him week 3 or 4 or something like that.
Levante's saying that former Packers defensive coordinator.
Exactly what I was about to say, man. Yeah, so that's where things get interesting because that head coach is familiar with Malik. I think there's some connection and trust there. I think Malik lasts not only this long, I think he does well with respect to the Miami Dolphins and what they're trying to do Halfley. That's right. That's the guy's name.
You understand what I'm saying when I say it's going to take him time to get comfortable in that.
It'll take him a little bit of time, but I think he will get comfort and he'll have confidence in what he's trying to do. The downside with respect to Miami as a team is because they're going through this transition. Players on both sides of the ball have left the squad, and it ain't the squad that you think it might be.
Well, true, but Hatley, he still has that FGB stink on him, and either way it goes, his defense is up there, they soft ass too, so that he I think Hatley just soft, so I still got it as a Bears victory. And I think we all concur on that. So
we are unanimous. We
get it. But he will be a different quarterback by the time we see him. He won't be the same guy that he started the season off with.
That will bring us to not a Sunday game, kid, 7 days away, but 6 days away, a Saturday game, week 15 on December the 19th at Buffalo. A DJ Moore revenge game, 7:20 on CBS. Tickets $334 to get the privilege of going into their
trip,
brand new stadium.
You mind if I start this one off?
Yeah, that.
I'm out of all the games on the schedule, this is probably the one I feel most secure about. And it might sound like I'm giving them too much credit, but this is the one L that I'm almost certain about. Just because it's Buffalo, it's on a Saturday. It's going to be a tough out. It's going to be a tough out in that part of December, and they know they got to play in a couple of days Green Bay on Christmas. This is a tough game, man. It's a tough game. Either you kind of give a little bit in this Buffalo game and just play them the best you can and get ready for this Green Bay game, or you gonna be. This is going to be a physical, tough football game, and it's going to be hard to get back and get ready for a Christmas game. It's going to be very hard.
So you're calling this one now?
Yeah, I'm calling this one. I'm really sure about this one.
All right, Trip. I have a strange feeling.
Well, see, here's the thing now. While, yes, the bumps and bruises of playing, so many games, yes, the mental fatigue of, being this late in the season, having, hold a tough road, if you will. Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, Caleb Williams, and whoever the leaders emerge on defense are not going to, let those become excuses. They know that they're on prime time. This is a ready for prime time team that will up their game mentally and physically, both sides of the ball, and be able to contain, Josh Allen enough, score enough points on the defense in Buffalo, who still is kind of like, and with their new coach was the coordinator, Kelly was his name, him being kind of on the hot seat bubble, not being able to win with their quarterback, at all. Things are going to be rough in Buffalo, but guess what? The Bears will be up to the task. Undefeated, keeps rolling, 14-0, Bear TF down.
Crazy.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
Hold on, I haven't even given my damn take on this. You're already trying to skip me over. God love it. Buffalo.
Joe Brady, thank you.
Here's where you got me, right? So I'm kind of with Nomad on this one. I'm gonna have to call this one an L. And it took me a minute. I was trying to find some sort of science behind a win, and I just can't. At this point in the season, I have a feeling that one of the Achilles heels for this defense is going to be mobile quarterbacks. this guy can kind of do it all. As far as mobility is concerned, he can run all over the yard. He can also pass all over the yard. I think Josh Allen's going to be a major problem for us. The other piece to this defense is the run game going to be a sieve again or not, right? Are people going to run all over us? I don't know. My little stretch of games here earlier on, I'm a little worried about those two aspects of the Bears defense. If those two things rear their ugly head up until week 10 bye week, and the Bears don't do anything to shore that up, I have to consider this an L. So in today's world, I don't know if anything happens in bye week. I got to call this an L.
It's a very physical game, man, but keep rolling, Trips.
Right on. So now, after that Saturday game, they flip it around to the very next Friday, week 16, Christmas, December 25th, 12 noon on Netflix. The Green Bay Packers, FGB, come to town to play that Christmas morning or early afternoon game. Tickets, $336 a piece. So ask Santa for that in your stocking.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing, they're coming off that tough schedule with short weeks, but they also realize that this is a divisional game. That pretty boy LaFleur is coming to town, and we know how Ben Johnson feels about that pretty boy LaFleur. This will be, a further opportunity for the Bears to put belt to ass for those Packers. And, prepare not, for the playoffs, not looking ahead to resting starters, but looking forward to embarrassing those damn Packers on the Netflix channel, on Christmas in front of everybody opening their presents. Merry Christmas to us all, and to all a good night, as the Bears will depart Christmas undefeated, 15-0. Bear TF down. Let's go.
I think the Grinch steals this one, man.
Oh, Lord.
So, personally, I have a splitting with Green Bay. We win earlier in the season. We lose later in the season. This is the later game. I think we win in Green Bay and unfortunately lose. I think Green Bay has a Christmas wish on this one. I'm considering this one an L.
Because of all the expectations for us and them. But the fact that we're playing this one in Chicago, I gave the first one an L.
So you went the other way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's going to play out. They'll get their home win, we'll get ours. But I'm going to tell you, by this point, Green Bay will be a little bit more desperate team than they were at the early part of the season. This is everything on the line, everything that they paid Micah Parsons, everything that they invested in Love, everything in this coach who is actually on the hot seat. If I had to give you a take that meant something, it was a push to kind of bring them back this year. So we're going to find out. They're going to everything that Green Bay says they are and thinks they are is going to show up on that field on December 25th. I'm telling you right now.
So I'm gonna give you one little piece of insight as to why I think this might go the other way. I think Mike is going to play in this game. He should be healthy by then. I don't think Mike is going to be ready for the earlier.
What do you think healthy Micah Parsons is after a knee injury like that? What do you think that looks like?
Well, it's right.
He needs a whole year, man.
Well, he needs a better part of year. That don't mean they ain't gonna put him on the field, right? So
he's gonna be out there, but that don't mean he's gonna be the same.
Yeah, out there looking like JJ.
He's better looking like something than nothing. So I'm just saying, having him on the line is gonna be at least semi-effective, and I think that's gonna be the difference in this particular football game.
This is gonna be a dub for the Bears.
Okay.
Which will lead into week 17. back on Sunday, January 3rd. Happy New Year, everyone. At 3:25 p.m. on Fox, Detroit Kitties will be coming to Soldier Field for the first game of 2027. And you can get the tickets for the amazingly affordable price of $196 a piece.
That's a good deal.
There you go. So I think this will
See, they
be
even know.
the opportunity for not the Bears to gear down with their starters, because I foresee a lot of games throughout the season to where Caleb and the starters all don't have to play the entire games. There'll be a lot of backups coming in, for garbage time. As the starters, stand and smile, drink a little Gatorade, giving each other high fives for job well done. So this will be a opportunity for those backups to get a few more reps, as the starters will play maybe the first half and go chill, because the playoffs seeding is all locked up. They got the home field buys going already, so they're giving the opportunity for the players to rest up, get those dings and dungs and danks healed. So with that said, the Bears backups will still be better than the Detroit Kitties starters, whoever they may be. So the Bears will continue the streak rolling, 16-0. Bear TF down. Let's go.
I need to hold on a second.
Oh,
You want me to go?
You can go.
This is when the Bears will put the final nail in the coffin for Detroit this day. The cast will already be over them by the time the Bears get to them. So the conversation will be long happening before the Bears get them. But Ben Johnson and this offense, they'll do this to spike them. How we got boat race in that game in Detroit last year. That's going to come back in reverse. Reverse straight up on Detroit. The die is cast by the time we see Detroit in Chicago. They're going to put the final nail in the coffin in Detroit, and this is going to be the boat racing game. They're going to boat race the shit out of Detroit by this point.
I don't know. Okay, so I'm calling this a W here with Detroit for entirely different reasons than either one of you guys. I think this is a situation, like where my stuff's broken out. I think this is basically the game that catapults you into the playoffs for the Bears. That's my take on this. The Kitties can play spoiler in this scenario. I think this is going to be a very tight game. I think it's going to wind up with some Caleb Williams magic at the end of the day in Soldier Field, and that's what I think. How I think this particular game ends off. I think it's a very important game in this season, and that'll lead us into potentially into playoff picture as well as the next game.
All right, let's get the last one.
All right, and that will bring up week 18, long ass NFL season, and can't even get a player's natural grass. Nice. But the time date is still TBD, as it is a flex game. So where they need eyes or viewership is where this game will be. So the time is still also TBD, as is the network. All we know is that the Bears will be visiting Minnesota, and the tickets, the lowest of $121 a piece. So this will be, obviously the wrap up of a 17-0 season for the Bears, because by then the Vikings will have, already made their reservations for Cancun. And the Bears backups will be getting most of the reps, given, the starters that, extra time off plus the bye week, preparing to dominate the playoffs. So yeah, it's just going to be one of those games where it's like, oh man, I know we're going to represent, because man, y'all beating the shit out them Vikings. But whatevs, got to do what you got to do. It ain't personal. Yep. So, 17-0, closing out the season, preparing for the playoffs. Bear TF down. Yes.
Okay. Final game of the season. I think this is another game, another Bears W. I just don't think Minnesota has it this year. Obviously performing pretty well in division, which is a little bit surprising, especially considering it all. That being said, this for me is the game that clinches our playoff go. Right. I think the Detroit situation has us sort of looking at a wild card, but this one has us hands, solidly in the playoff picture now at the very end of the situation at the end of the season. I don't believe that we'll be resting anybody, unfortunately, in this game. I think we're actually going to be playing this game to win a football game, and we will handsomely.
I think by week 11 and 12, we'll have our playoff position already seeded. We'll be there. I think by the time we get down to this last game of the season, it's definitely going to be, let me see what we got in reserve, and let's see what we got going into the playoffs in our reserves in case we need them. And they'll get full throttle A-plus authority in this game, and we'll see a lot of reserves. I'm not saying we won't see the starters for a couple of plays, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them at all. Give them some rest and get them ready for the playoff run. And particularly, this is going to be interesting for Minnesota because I do think they'll be bottlenecking somewhere around. And I'm just me. I think they'll be bottlenecking somewhere around a wild card spot. And just because of we are in the position we are in, they have a strong chance to make the playoffs if they can get out of this with a win, man. I think they can make the playoffs. I think they'll fight for a wild card spot, and this game might help them get that. So it's going to be a catch-22. Do you want to eliminate them guys, get them guys the fuck out of the playoffs?
Or you think Minnesota's going to be going for a playoff?
Yeah, I think they will be bottlenecking.
You do?
Spot, yes. Yes,
No
they always
chance.
are, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised they was playing for first round first selection in the draft.
Yeah, not a chance in hell that one.
I'm telling you right now, they're gonna bottleneck for a playoff spot.
No,
defense is gonna be too good.
Well, either way, whatever we got, the team met, whatever the chat has, the chat may be off, by a game or two from our selections, but to a person, our expectations is that this 2026-27 Bears team is to make the damn playoffs, whether it be, sealing it up early, in my viewpoint, and they've been able to chill the last game or two going into the end of the season by playoffs, all that, versus, kids, and whereas it's like it may come down to that last game and they may have to fight that tooth and nail to just secure it, to Nomad's viewers, like, yeah, they'll make it. They'll be able to maybe even get the first round bye. So either way, our expectations are up because we see that the team's expectations are up. The team's talent level is higher. The team's coaches' plan is more coherent and achievable. So we are going in the right directions, fellow Bears fans. Bear TF down. Let's fucking go.
Let me ask a quick question. Crimson says, he says, hey, Nomad, is that because you think Kyler is good? This is more like my trust in the offensive coach, O'Donnell, whatever his last name is. O'Connell. It's more or my trust in him and his history, his track record of what he's been able to do with a veteran quarterback that's had a hard time in the league in his first, handful of years. And that's exactly what's going on right here, right now. I do think Kyler Murray is going to be a much better quarterback by the time we see him late in the season. He's going to be going through a learning curve as well as any other quarterback that's with a new system. First, 4 to 6 games, it's a hit and miss. He might pop off, he might not. But by the time we get to that part of the season, yes, Kyler Murray will be a much better quarterback.
Yeah. So what I did while we were doing all this is I actually tallied up our takes. So Tripp's take goes without saying. He's saying the Bears will not lose a fucking football game all season, which has never happened except for one team, and they got smacked by the Chicago Bears in the playoffs. That's how that went down. Another team attempted to do it, and then they also lost. So yes, it has been suggested that you may wish to settle down by Patrick Higgins.
It is the middle of May, goddammit.
No, keep settling up, man. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's cool.
Y'all raise them. Let's go.
Do what you will. Do as thou wilt. Nomad, you have the Bears running it down at 15-2, which is also pretty fucking crazy too, buddy. You know what I mean? I just gotta say that.
Not to me.
It's pretty crazy. That's a lot of W's, man. That's a lot of dubs. And if that's how it shakes out, that's how it shakes out.
If you think about the season in its sequence, in the games and how they play out, when and where, it's not crazy.
Okay.
It's not crazy at all. And you're talking about giving the team a chance, and I think they're going to need more time to gel on the defensive side of the ball than on the offensive side of the ball. That thing is going to roll on the offensive side. It's about when guys are more up to speed. I think we get more dynamic as the season goes on, as Xavier gets more of a handle of the offense and things like that. So he'll play a bigger role later in the season, and we'll be a little more explosive later. But I think that thing keeps rolling, and I think we're a 40 burger, and you got that uphill battle to climb every time you see the Chicago Bears. So when they're putting points on your ass early, and every team has got to climb uphill from there, that gives us that 15-2 kind of mindset.
Okay. So me, I have us at 11-6.
Struggling.
Which is one game lower than we were at last year. Okay.
A regression?
By a single game. I don't really call that the end of the world. The problem with the way that I'm looking at this season is just that playoff contention is in question for the better part of the season. Right? It's in question. It's not a hey, yeah, we dog walked all these teams and we're walking into the playoffs, no problem, and we can sleep on these back end games. They don't matter. They don't make much difference. I think they make a huge difference. I think they're extremely important. The reason why I have the Bears at this particular number truly is because of what the storyline of this season is going to be. The storyline of the season is real easy to talk about. It's can they stop the run? Can they handle mobile quarterbacks? Real simple. If they can, we might see 15-2. We might see 17-0. If they can. If they can't, we're looking at a potentially 11-6 season, which ain't terrible. Gets you into the playoffs. You're a perennial playoff team.
You left something out, kids.
What did I leave out?
You said, can they stop the run?
Mm-hmm.
Can they contain mobile quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
What about pressure the passers?
Oh, yeah, that too. Okay. I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt on this one. Like, I'll be straight up. I'm giving y'all the benefit of the doubt. I don't think they can pressure quarterbacks.
Oh, why you got air coats like that, though?
Hold on. I think they're going to be able to dial up pressure. All right. So if they can scheme up and dial up pressure from different locations, I think we're going to see it. I also think Austin Booker does take a step forward in his capabilities this season as well. So those are the things that I'm holding dear and hoping on to.
Let me ask you a question, though, kid.
Mm-hmm.
And you too, Trips, for that matter. Do you think pressure is pressure, no matter where it comes from?
Yes.
We'll put it like this. It depends on.
I suppose there's a question mark here too, but
it depends on the quarterback. Because pressure to Kyler Murray, whether it be up the middle or from the edge, or Josh Allen, or even a Baker Mayfield, they can roll out of the pocket and throw on the run. To whereas pressure from, the edges versus a Jared Goff, he can step up in a clean pocket and still pick you apart. Whereas pressure from the middle versus a pocket statue type QB like a Goff, I think is more effective than pressure from the edge. So, the pressure is different depending on who the quarterback is. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I'm going to answer it a little bit. I'm answering it a little bit
help him out
differently.
a little bit here, kids. Let me help him out a little bit here. You're absolutely right, Trips. I'm glad you answered it that way for this reason. Like if pressure came from here or pressure came from there, those are open areas of if you can get a guy, streaming in that area, and you can get the quarterback to hit him on a timing route or something like that, then you got a problem down the field because everybody's matched up. And usually when simulated pressure comes from the linebacker group or the secondary, there's usually man coverage on the backside of that. And so if you give it up and you don't get to him on time and somebody's breaking wide ass open somewhere, you get burnt like that. So that's the difference. Here's the other thing. This is why so many different teams, so many different coordinators are so doggedly determined to try to get to the quarterback with 4. So they don't give up those opportunities.
1,000,000,000%. And that was almost exactly what I was going to say. So if you're dialing up pressure from the secondary, potentially somebody's wide open, right? You're sending somebody and you're leaving somebody else. If you want to get to the quarterback with the front 4, everybody's covered in the back end, and you don't have to worry about that one receiver, that one tight end, whoever it might be, wide open in the middle of the field somewhere. And this is where things get a little bit dicey. I gave us 2 W's here against the Lions, but they are that team that if you give the man time enough to find that wide open receiver, he'll find him and he'll hit him.
Which is why Church was talking about depending on the quarterback.
Yeah. Like Goff will find him, he will hit that receiver. And that's where things get interesting with respect to the Detroit Lions. Don Burr, 0 love, bro.
Sit and spin.
That's such a millisecond kind of quick decision making kind of thing. Like depending on where that heat's coming from, did you see this in time? These conversations are had on the sideline. As soon as that play is over, let's say he didn't see the open guy, and the offensive, let's just say his quarterback coach comes to him with the iPad or whatever that thing is they use, and he shows him like, hey, you see right here, he was streaking wide ass open. You just didn't see him. This is why play in and play out, series in and series out, teams get better on the sidelines and y'all don't even realize it. And so if a guy is successful at sending a certain kind of pressure at you once, you don't think that coordinator is going to call it twice? If you don't think you can correct that mistake.
Yeah. You don't call it till you stop it.
Yeah, shit, fuck it. What you going to do? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shit. So it's a game of cat and mouse the entire game. And that's why teams get better when they come out after halftime. Things like we're talking about right now. Looking at the iPad, looking at the it's actually not an iPad, it's a
Surface.
Microsoft Surface.
Microsoft Surface. That's exactly right.
Or
they go look at that shit, man, and they just like, if they do that again, I know exactly what's going with the ball. So it's a chess game the entire game, man.
So for that reason, that's why I have us at 11-6. I think there will be just a slight regression for the Chicago Bears. We will still make the playoffs. There's and I can't stress this more. If they recognize within the first 9 games that that not being able to get pressure with the front 4 is untenable, and they do not make some sort of a move after the bye or during the bye to get somebody who can add pressure, there is a potential for them to miss the playoffs. And say it the way that it has to be said.
You got to understand, man. And to this, and I've said this, I don't know how many times, kids, and I
You-
still don't think it's getting through your cranium, man. You thick-headed, right?
I'm it's got nothing to do with me being thick-headed. It has to do with the
You
reality.
are, because I've explained
Doug,
it to you.
I know you have, and I'm taking every piece of this into consideration. But the realities of the universe are the realities of the universe, right? Like, you're saying that maybe this works, and maybe it does. Maybe it winds up being 15-2 if it works.
17.
You have dynamic
The opposite of this is also just as valid and true. There's potential that it doesn't, and if it doesn't work, they've got to be dynamic enough to find a way to make it work.
Kids, you'd probably be right if what I'm saying doesn't make a whole lot of sense by the time the trade deadline comes around. They're probably going to jump all over some dude somewhere. That might even happen before we even get into the season. They might see some things in camp, which they better be able to identify if guys are able to raise to that echelon that they want them to. They need to be able to see that in camp, and we shouldn't get to the thicket of the season before they know that we need to get some guy, and it's going to cost them way too goddamn much money. And so, to be honest with you, right now is the time, once they put the pads on, a couple weeks into the pads, we should know some shit. I
don't know if they're gonna. I hope that they figure that piece out before the season. You're right. If it is an issue, I have a strange feeling they're not gonna, and they're also not gonna put money into it because there isn't a lot of money to put into it at this point.
You basing all your thoughts on what they've done in the past. I'm not.
Well, I'm basing it more on money. There's not a lot of money to go around right now. And it's kind of evident, like they would have to, and we've talked about this a little bit already. They would have to probably look at a Jalen Johnson trade or somebody picking up either Dio or Grady. Like there's certain guys that they would have to move in order to free up money to do something substantial. And I don't think they're of the mind to do any of those things for the 2026 season.
All I know is that if I say Jalen Johnson in that scenario that you just mentioned, all I know is I get tarred and feathered. That's all I know. But shout out to Juju. Shout out to Juju. He says, as usual, I appreciate y'all so much for the content. Can't wait till y'all go national. Salute, bro.
I holler at your boys.
Big up, Juju.
We can talk about the Bears. We can talk about the division. We can talk about the league. Yeah, we can talk current events. What you need, Juju? What you need?
We got that shit. We got it. We got it, man. But hey, listen, I do have a lady that's off, and then she's freshly showered.
Oh my goodness!
Hello.
Oh my goodness!
Let's just say that. Let's just leave that. Let's just leave that there. And I would love to keep chopping it up with y'all, but we will be back here Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central, man, for some extra sauce. We will be back here rocking this shit like we always do. We're going to have a hella conversation for y'all like we always do. So just wait. We got y'all. We got y'all covered, man. We're going to get to some current events that we need to talk about. We're going to get into a whole bunch of Bears. We're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. That's what we do on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. But thank y'all. Trips did a really good job of narrating this whole thing like only Trips can do. And, the schedule is the schedule. I don't care who we have to deal with. I just don't, because an opponent is an opponent. You just got to figure out a way to nix whatever they have going on, man. And that's the way I look at it. It's the way I always will. But there are intangibles in the equation: home field advantage, weather, time of year. What kind of situation is the trade deadline going to leave you in as an organization? All that shit is a factor in the entire schedule layout that we just did. And I hope y'all appreciate the breakdown we did, because we did the best we could with that one, man.
Right on. And I must say, before we wrap up and get out of here, I've become unhealthily smitten with Xavier Thomas, kids. I can't get enough of looking at his LSU film, and then even going back to the Mississippi State stuff, where he's just on the field and people, defenders losing their angles, and him being tough and him being a backfield weapon, him being a screen weapon, him being a downfield weapon, and him catching with his hands and being a go-to guy in crucial situations. Kids, I think I know why Ben Johnson be rocking back and forth sometimes when he's like, "Oh, the things I'm going to do with you, Xavier." And I don't mean that in the Diddy way, Red Baron, settle down.
That did sound right.
Yeah, I heard it coming out and it was like phrasing.
Damn.
But yeah, you know what I mean. Putting him in the running back situations, putting him in all of that. Yeah.
I like to watch you scramble in these situations.
No, you got to fix that one.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, but the way Ben Johnson wants to utilize Xavier Thomas's football skills on the gridiron within his game plan.
I'm glad you put the word football.
It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Or else the whole thing would have went sideways.
It's just a matter of time before Opus Clip AI keys in on Triple R's nasty mind.
when Opus Clip just comes in on its own and says pause.
Yeah, like it's gonna be some shit. Like it's gonna figure you out.
We all just freeze. We did not lose internet connection.
Wait, Red Parrot said Penn is looking at Xavier like he's freshly showered.
We gotta wait at least an hour on that, man.
All right, so with that said, a shout out to everybody on the Nomad Network on that Cats of Canuck on Sports Chicago Style, also known as Triple R SCS. Make sure you are subscribed to all three. And then this week is on Wednesday for some extra sauce. Not only do we have the topics and this show, but it's 1 week closer to the last Wednesday of the month for the Wednesday night live cooking demonstration from MFer in the Kitchen, Chef Trips. So we got that coming up on the schedule. So make sure you are subscribed to all three channels. Have those notifications on so you know when we're doing and what we're doing and how we're doing it and why. Because, as said in the comments, we should be national. But I think I saw international, but whatever the case may be, big ups.
Yes. All of those things, man. Big shout outs to all y'all in the chat, man. Thanks for keeping this show interactive as all hell. We were talking about all kinds of quasi-political fare earlier on, which was cool. And I think we got a really good, shout out to Bearski Film who was in there. Shout out to Crooked as well. Big ups to the Scrolls, Patrick Higgins, Marcus Jones. Good old Crimson was with us all night long. Same thing with Juju. There's a bunch more. Scottish Bears was with us tonight, man. Big ups to all y'all. By all means, become a member. Hit the
wrong thing, kids. My bad.
Well, by all means,
either way. Up there to become a member.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Then don't do that, but do it. Zero love for Don Burr, as previously stated. Just wanted to reiterate. And by all means, catch us on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Not only will we do it all again, but we'll do it all kinds of different ways. We will be talking on some more of that EV situation, possibly, maybe aliens, maybe some doomsday situations as well. Who knows? Drinks, food. We do it all on Wednesday, so we'll be happy to have you. Give a like, share, subscribe, and potentially a comment over at Sports Chicago Style. Do the same thing at the Nomad Network, and hit me up on Keds the Canuck right here on YouTube. Big shout out to the Nodge as well. Good to have you. Good to see you here again, Nodge. Hey man, happy Sunday to y'all. Bear down and get yourself a 2-4 if you're in Canada.
Something I would like to mention that we don't say much on the show that I would love to have people interact with us. If you see something or you hear something during the show, whether it's me, Triple R, Kids, no matter who it is that said whatever, give us some feedback in the comments section after the show.
Mm-hmm.
Feedback so we can holler at you guys. We want to get a little bit more interactive that way, because after the show I find that I go back and look at some stuff and I'll be like, okay, that's debatable. That's not debatable, but this ain't. And no matter who said what, I'm sure, and we get comments all the time after the show. I just want to keep everybody to the understanding that give us more comments, man. Give us your thoughts about whatever you heard on the show. Triple R could have been nasty. Kids could have been thick-headed. I could have been thick-headed. No matter. Just tell us about ourselves. Holler at us in the comment section. We do encourage that on all 3 channels at Kids of Canuck, Sports Chicago Style. Get more interactive with us over here on the Nomad Network as well, man. So we just want to thank you tonight and stay tuned for Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. We'll be right back at you guys with even more. So I want to leave you guys with these famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.